We welcome you back to historic Doyle Field in Leominster, Diamond Side here on the K-Zone, and we welcome those of you joining us in 24-hour delay on Rivalry Family Media. A very good evening, everyone. Alongside Bill Thomas and Kate Robbins, Todd Robbins for the K-Zone and RFM tonight. Great to have you with us as we count you down. Coming up top of the hour, it's the 7th seed in Central Massachusetts, the St. Paul Knights out of Worcester, taking on the top seed, Leominster High School Blue Devils. They're 17-1 record, winners of 16 straight on the line tonight. Leominster's last loss, well chronicled, was the second game of the season, Saturday, May the 8th against Neshoba. It was right here at Doyle Field, and it was a 6-2 loss. Since that time, 16 straight games, no matter who they put in front of them, Leominster High School has downed their opponent. Tonight, they'll have to down a St. Paul team that they beat 6-5 in walk-off fashion the last time they were together, and it is a battle that we are looking forward to. And one of those key points that we want to talk about, it's the pitching matchup. It's Luke DeLongchamp, the Boston College-bound Division I prospect on the side of St. Paul, against the Division II-bound and top prospect for Leominster in Evan McCarthy. He's on his way to Assumption College. That's the battle that we have. It's the battle of what both coaches have universally agreed are the best two pitchers in Central Massachusetts, and that's the battle that we'll see tonight. That's the distinctive difference to when you go back to June the 2nd when these two teams previously played. Yes, Leominster won 6-5. It was a walk-off win, but they did not score any of their runs against Luke DeLongchamp. DeLongchamp had 4 innings pitched in that game, scattered 2 hits, did not allow a run, issued just 2 walks against 5 strikeouts in that game. For Leominster, it was pitcher by committee. Ryan Harris, Ryan Garner, Brandon Arsenault came in to clean it up, and Arsenault, the de facto number 2 in Leominster's rotation, ultimately got the win, pitching the closing 4 innings of that game back on June the 2nd, scattering 3 hits, ultimately didn't allow a run, issued 3 walks, and 2 strikeouts in that ball game. So that's the distinctive difference on the pitching matchup side of things as we work our way into this matchup tonight, where we know both teams are going to send their best 2 pitchers to the hill tonight. That's the overall benefit that we'll be looking at as we see St. Paul's out on the field warming up here. Leominster finished their warm-ups moments ago during our radio break. As I welcome back Bill Thomas and Kate Robbins, or welcome them for the first time if you're joining us via RFM. And let's talk a little bit about this pitching matchup. We kind of alluded to it before the break, but 2 very different pitchers, Bill Thomas, that both have had a lot of success. Both have the high strikeout ratio. If you look at how many strikeouts they have, McCarthy's got himself 88 strikeouts on the season through his last appearance. DeLongchamp, somewhere in that general region, but here's the big difference. McCarthy has thrown 50 innings this season to DeLongchamp's just about 25 coming into this one. So very different in the usage category coming into this one as well.
Yeah, and I think we see that just as a reflection of the last time these two teams matched up, Todd. DeLongchamp's cruising through the first 4 innings. You mentioned his stat line, 2 hits, a base on balls, hit a batter, but 4 scoreless innings. But he got stronger. He struck out the side in the 4th. He didn't have a strikeout in the first inning. Second inning, he had 1 to close it out, nothing in the 3rd. Closes out with 3 in the 4th, and then he gets taken out. Very efficient, 55 pitches. But I think that's how Coach Riley has used him for the better part of the season. Keep him fresh, relying on his other arms. Unfortunately, his other arms didn't hold up for him that night, and he went through pretty much all his bullpen by the time they ended up losing in extras. But I don't see him coming out after 4 innings tonight, especially after an inning where he strikes out the side, and I think that's going to be the key. On the other side, McCarthy's thrown a lot of pitches the last couple of weeks. He's had 2 complete games, close to 100. So we'll have to see. But I don't see anybody coming out unless they get forced out of the game. You talked about how far do the coaches go with their pitchers. I think the starters go as long as they can. That's
a great point tonight. And Kate, the heat, of course, plays into this. I was talking to Coach Barnaby a couple of hours ago as the teams started to show up here at Doyle Field, and the comment he made was, this is baseball weather. This is what it's supposed to be. Baseball weather is supposed to be hot. Well, if that's the case, he's going to get that and then some tonight.
We got the 3 H's. We got hazy, hot, and humid out here tonight. Luckily, both of the athletic directors, kudos to both athletic directors for making the decision to shift the game time to a 6 p.m. start. We've been monitoring social media posts all day, and there's some athletic directors that had their student athletes out in 100-degree heat in the middle of the day. It's not as if they needed to do that. So kudos to both athletic directors for shifting. Number 1 for the crowd, number 2 for the heat. And this is a phenomenal baseball atmosphere. I think we're going to get a great crowd, especially when the sun goes down and it cools off just a tad. I got my fan. I'm ready to go.
Got it at 91 degrees right now here. Diamond side feels like temperature right in the neighborhood of 100 degrees if you're out in full sun right now.
Billy brought his bikini.
I was going to say Bill Thomas is prepared.
You just can't see it.
For this action this evening, to say the least. Let's talk about how did these two teams get here. What was the road to the Central Massachusetts final for these two schools? And this is where, as we alluded to a little while ago, things get a little weird if you look at how things go. And we chronicled this a little bit in our last broadcast as well. Let's work from left to right across the broadcast bracket, if you will. Leominster, we mentioned, the top overall seed. They were seeded as a 14-1 team at that point in time. That didn't include the Central Massachusetts Athletic Directors Tournament games. That also did not include, obviously, the games that have been played in the tournament thus far. So 3 wins to this point added to Leominster's record, a total of 17-1 at this point in time in the season. Meanwhile, St. Paul was rated at 10-6. Good enough for a 7 seed, but with teams in front of them, like Grafton, traditionally a Division II team, 10-2. Doherty, 10-2, traditionally walks that line, depending on the sport, between Division I and Division II. Groton Dunstable, traditionally a Division II or a Division III, sometimes 4 school, depending on the sport, 10-4, a 4th seed. Westboro, a traditional Division I team, 11-5. Shrewsbury, the 6th seed, also 11-5. There were some tiebreakers put into play to get you there, and then down to St. Paul from there. But note, all of those teams that we mentioned, okay, are all teams that Leominster did not have to navigate their way through. Leominster defeated St. John's, who was listed as a 9 seed, that's St. John's of Shrewsbury, with then a 7-7 overall record, all games played in Eastern Massachusetts. That was their quarterfinal opponent, and St. John's had got to that place with a 9-2 win over Tantascwa, who was rated ahead of them, a team traditionally in Division 3 or 4. So St. John's gets to the quarterfinals to play Leominster after their first round bye. Leominster picks up a 3-1 victory in that game. Then moving down to the bottom half of the bracket, Groton Dunstable and Algonquin. Algonquin wins that one 12-3. They advance on to the semifinals, setting up a Leominster-Algonquin matchup, a game that you heard right here on the K-Zone, saw right here in delay on RFM, a 7-0 Leominster win in that one. They controlled it from start to finish. They advance themselves as the top seed into the final. Go to the right side of the bracket, and here's how things look. St. Paul as the 7 seed started off with an opening round home game. They hosted 10 seed North Middlesex, a game that they won 10-0. To advance on to the quarterfinal, they had to go to Grafton, who was the 2 seed, and St. Paul got themselves in a battle, a 3-1 victory in that one to down Grafton to put themselves into the semifinal. Bottom half of that bracket, Wachusett upsets Shrewsbury 4-3, an 11 over a 6 seed. Then Wachusett battles Doherty, a 3 seed who got a first round bye. Wachusett, the 11 seed, sweeps the 3 seed 5-0, advancing themselves into the semifinal, which was a 7 versus 11 matchup. St. Paul picks up the victory 5-3. They were winning that game 5-0 and ultimately gave up 3 runs late in that game, likely from their bullpen from what we could tell from the Telegram's coverage, and advances themselves as a 7 seed into the Central Mass Final. What do I take away from reading that initially to you and presenting that information? That is, this bracket, given the way they mixed and matched, and of course last minute decided to have a district round when they originally were not going to have a district round, ignore everything about any of that seeding. What you have here tonight is the battle of the 2 best Division I teams in Central Massachusetts, in top seed Leominster and should have been 2 seed St. Paul, even though their record did not dictate it, Bill Thomas.
Yeah, and I think you could have taken pretty much all the teams in this tournament and tossed their names into a hat. The seedings, Wachusett, you never see them in the bottom half of a bracket or even towards the middle. Same thing with St. John's. I mean, look at their schedule. Strength of schedules really, I think, had a lot to play with records, but not the strength of the team. So I mean, this is going to be a great matchup. This could be played like a 1 and a 2, and I don't think you get any less excitement.
Kate, of course, you never want your players looking at where you fall in the grand scheme of things, but just in case Coach Ed Riley needed just a little more fuel for the proverbial fire, how about the disrespect of being considered a 7 overall seed?
Oh, I think there's no doubt about it. I think that considering I guess what you'd say, a lack of algorithm with regard to strength of schedule, it was clear that they just went by record and nothing more than that. Obviously, if you're playing quality teams, then you know what? Then it is a bit of bulletin board material for you, and a sign of disrespect, because they are a phenomenally qualified team, just as much as we talked about it with St. John's and the 9 seed. They weren't a 9 seed. They just weren't a 9 seed.
Called it a landmine of a 9 seed.
Oh, absolutely. And I feel for a team like Leominster having to go up against a landmine like a St. John's earlier in the bracket. I mean, that could have played spoiler. So it's a very interesting situation. We know it was cobbled together last minute because of COVID, because of the introduction of the statewide tournament that is forthcoming. So I will give a little bit of a pass, a little bit of a reprieve to the MIAA and to the seedings, because they full well knew this was just a stopgap to get through the 2021 season in order to start the statewide playoffs next year, well, this year in the fall.
Exactly. Next school year coming up as we work our way forward. Getting ready here for the national anthem here at Doyle Field, but I've got just a couple of seconds left. Or if you're joining us on RFM, we'll take the national anthem in a moment. Those of you at the K-Zone will step aside. But before I let us go, walking out of, of course, this pregame, Bill Thomas, Kate Robbins, last seconds here. Keys to victory tonight for both teams, Bill Thomas.
Well, it's going to be pitch count, I think, especially on Evan McCarthy's side. When he's out on the mound, he can't have those 20 pitch innings. He's got to be efficient. He's thrown a lot of pitches last couple weeks. I think it's going to be all about the pitch count in this hot weather on both sides of the diamond. They got to take care of their pitches, limit mistakes. You don't want to give it the opposition 4 and even 5 outs in an inning. That's going to really come back to haunt you.
Kate, last second, your chance. What are you looking at?
Leominster has to figure out the conundrum that is DeLongchamp. They have to put runs on the board, and as my credo continues, get the bunt down. They're going to have to manufacture some runs
from
tonight.
the mean bunt lady.
And manufacture runs will be the way to go. First pitch in the starting lineup, so when we come back, stick with us. You're listening to RFM on the K-Zone.
Ladies and gentlemen, at this time we ask you to please rise, face center field, and a big, beautiful U.S. flag as we honor America with the playing of our national anthem. Good luck to both teams.
For those of you joining us on RFM, stand by. Radio rejoins us momentarily. Championship baseball here on the K-Zone and RFM. Great to have you along with us. Todd Robbins, Bill Thomas, Kate Robbins, and you. Great to have you with us on AM1280, 105.3 FM, or Facebook Live in one-day delay. Let's set the starting lineups for this Central Massachusetts Championship featuring St. Paul and Leominster. First for the 7-seed St. Paul and their 13-6 record. This is the batting order turned in by head coach Ed Riley. Cody Smith, the center fielder, will bat leadoff. The third baseman, Max Lefrancois, will bat second. Joey Rubin, the shortstop, bats third. The pitcher, Luke DeLongchamp, BC bound, bats cleanup and will start tonight on the hill. Deegan Miller plays first base, bats fifth. Ben Cushy is the designated hitter, and he'll bat sixth. Jake Lefrancois does the catching, bats seventh. Joey Bazidlo, second baseman, will bat eighth. Colin Johnson, the right fielder, bats ninth. Gino Renzoni, the left fielder, will not hit tonight, but will be in the defensive lineup. Speaking of defensive lineups for the top seed Leominster and their 17-1 record, this is the defensive lineman that head coach Rich Barnaby will send out here in the top of the first. Ryan Fava, Sean Dutton, Eamon Durkin patrol the outfield from left to right. Third to first in the infield, it's Nick Garcia and Nick Massa at third and short. Tony Savatelli and Brandon Arsenault at second and first. Tyler Smith does the catching for Evan McCarthy on his way to Assumption College. That's the matchup we've got tonight coming up here in the top of the first inning. Last second here, Bill Thomas. First pitch forthcoming.
Well, Blue Devils got to play good defense tonight. Not give St. Paul any extra outs, but they can't wait till the second or third time through the lineup to get to DeLongchamp either. They got to come out. They got to figure out a way to manufacture runs first time through the lineup. Hopefully maybe the bottom third that we've seen act as table setters can come alive tonight at some point. But once DeLongchamp gets in a groove, we saw how he got stronger as the game went on and finished his stint last time with 3 straight strikeouts. Can't let him do that. He's just going to, I think, get stronger and stronger and stronger as the game goes on.
Kate, Leominster's defense has had a really solid year this year. And they haven't had to do a lot all at the same time when McCarthy has started or pitched his 50 innings.
No, you're absolutely right about that. I think that they need to continue to have that tight D because I think with both of these coaches, they're going to be looking to manufacture runs, especially in the early going. So the D is going to have to be tight, especially early on if Leominster wants to make a statement defensively, and then they're going to have to match that big talk on offense too.
And here comes the center fielder, Cody Smith, to bat leadoff and open this ball game, the lefty. St. Paul wearing the road black tops trimmed in bronze and gold, white bottoms with a single black pinstripe on either side of the pants. Leominster wearing the home royal blue tops, white bottoms, royal blue pinstripe on either side. The jersey accented with white at the shoulders. Royal blue caps, black brims, and the first pitch underway from Evan McCarthy. It's a called strike at 5:57, and we're underway 3 minutes early here at historic Doyle Field.
Welcome to Doyle Field.
It's all good, though. Call it right on time.
The lefty Cody Smith looks out at McCarthy's 0-1 offering, lifts this one towards center field. Dutton on a run to shallow center will settle under and make the catch for out number 1.
Almost caught Dutton by surprise there. Started to break back, but got a good read on it. Came in, made a nice, easy, lazy catch out there in mid-center field.
Count that for 3 pitches, Bill Thomas, in this ball?
Oh, yeah. Nope. You got to keep track here. They're going to keep a close eye on him, I'm quite sure.
Third baseman Max Lefrancois, the right-handed batter, stands in even with home plate. Looks out at McCarthy, working from the stretch. Breaking ball for a called strike 1.
You know, and we got some pregame information. McCarthy's got a little more bulldog in him than we knew about. We'll touch on that later on as the game progresses.
Indeed, we will.
He's got some bulldog genes in him.
An 0-1 count. Here's the pitch from McCarthy. Ends up a breaking ball right over the middle, and it's lined into center field for a base hit. And Max Lefrancois takes the second pitch he sees out for an opening single.
Interesting.
Timing him up there.
Yeah, interesting thing right off the bat. You've got contact from the first 2 batters of the game.
Not just contact, but up the middle contact, too. So they're timing Evan up here early. He's going to have to mix up his pitches, and I'm sure the coaches are watching that, work with Tyler behind the plate, and try to get those St. Paul Diocese's players off balance a little bit.
That's actually not terribly wrong, Bill Thomas. First pitch from McCarthy to Joey Rubin, the shortstop, as a ball misses inside, 1-0.
I've been practicing.
That's not bad. There's two different pronunciations.
Good. It wasn't good.
I've gone with diocesan, but either one is correct.
Wasn't that many Ceceses to stick at the end.
That's right. Here comes McCarthy's 1-0. Runner going in left. Francois Smith snaps a throw down, and he is caught stealing at second base.
Caught a little Velcro there because it sure looked like he was going to get his hand in there, but I think he just came up a little short of the bag. Dirt Monster grabbed him and able to get the tag on him.
Swinging strike there.
2-6 the put on if you're scoring at home for that. Caught stealing at second base, and Rubin's got a 1-ball, 1-strike count with 2 outs, and McCarthy facing the possibility of going in order here.
And something didn't happen that was supposed to. Coach Riley not happy.
A 1-1 fastball missed off the outside corner. 2 balls and a strike.
It's never good when the third base coaching box has a lot of shaking of the head. A lot of head shaking going on down
Clearly
there.
might have been looking at least for a swing at the plate, although he did get one,
swing.
Kate, and just didn't delay
Didn't make
Smith near at
contact.
all.
Yeah, I think he was looking for contact.
The 2-1 breaking ball, soft and misses the outside corner. 3 balls and a strike. Kate, the first thing I'm already noticing is a much more true strike zone at the plate tonight.
Yes, I would agree already.
3 balls, 1 strike, the count of Rubin with 2 outs.
Bill Thomas, he keeps trying to get me to bite on that. Every game, he wants me
It's
to
not-
make the statement.
The 3-1, ball 4 off the outside corner.
In the top of the first, nonetheless.
Man, oh man, throwing me right under the bus right off the bat.
27, Luke.
Technically,
He's the friend. He's the friend of the umpire over here, and so he wants me
Well,
to
exactly.
drive the bus.
Somebody's got to take one for the team once in a while. You might have to work with these guys at some point.
Oh,
here comes
man.
Luke DeLongchamp, the pitcher to the plate, batting cleanup. Rubin down at first after drawing the walk with 2 outs here in the top of the first, and McCarthy starts DeLongchamp off with a hard strike 1, and that seemed like it had a statement attached
It
to it.
certainly did. I
A
think
little extra.
I think so. I think you'll see both of these pitchers because both of them are in their respective lineups hitting. I think you'll see some extra gas.
McCarthy decides to check on Rubin over at first. He'll walk his way back.
Let's not forget, first time around, Joey Rubin singled, and DeLongchamp promptly planted a ball over the left field wall for a 2-run homer in the first inning. First time these two teams met.
And that was against Ryan Harris, his first time seeing McCarthy. The 0-1 pitch lifted by DeLongchamp to the backstop, clipped, and that one's heading toward North Main. 0-2 the count.
With how dangerous DeLongchamp is here, I think you'll see McCarthy just be nowhere near the strike zone, ahead 0-2, especially considering his power.
Look for that biting curveball here, maybe.
McCarthy stares in. Rubin takes his lead at first. The 0-2 offering. Ball off the outside corner. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
You don't want to let Luke square up on something because he's batting cleanup for a reason. Not only is he an excellent pitcher, but he's an excellent offensive machine, too.
McCarthy comes set at the chest. Here's his 1-2 pitch. Breaking ball. That's in the batter's box. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Trying to work that curve on the outside half. Not quite there.
Kate, this is starting to shape up like maybe this is a heck of a lot of respect. Maybe, we got ahead 0-2. We're going to be real careful here. If you happen to chase something, so be it. Otherwise, you could take your base. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, and it's a ripped ground ball right at Massa at short. He'll flip to Savatelli at second to retire the side. Half inning complete here at Doyle Field. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, 1 left on for the Knights here in the top of the first. We head to the bottom half of the first inning. When we come back, we'll set the other half of the lineups for you. Leominster comes to the plate. No score. Leominster and St. Paul through a half here at Doyle Field. This is RFM on the K-Zone. To the bottom of the first inning we go here on the K-Zone and RFM. Great to have you along with us. Todd Robbins, Bill Thomas, Kate Robbins, and you. So great to have you here for some Central Massachusetts Championship baseball here this evening. It's a wonderful night, although a little warm and a little sticky. It feels like baseball out there on the field tonight. Let's set the lineup for Rich Barnaby's Leominster High School Blue Devils. Here's the batting order that he will send to the plate. Tyler Smith, the catcher, bats in that leadoff position he's occupied all year long. Then Sean Dutton bats second place center field. Evan McCarthy bats for himself, the pitcher. He will bat in the 3-hole. Nick Garcia, the third baseman, bats cleanup. Brandon Arsenault of the Discerning Eye, first baseman, bats fifth. Tony Savatelli, the second baseman, will bat sixth. Eamon Durkin in right field bats seventh. Nico Martinez, the designated hitter in the lineup tonight, bats eighth. Ryan Fava, the left fielder, closes out the batting lineup, batting ninth. The shortstop, Nick Massa, will not bat in this 10-person lineup for Coach Barnaby. Setting the defensive alignment for Coach Riley and St. Paul's. Gino Renzoni, Cody Smith, Colin Johnson, left to right across the outfield. Third to first in the infield, it's Max Lefrancois, Joey Rubin, Joey Bazidlo, and Deegan Miller. Jake Lefrancois does the catching, and he catches for Luke DeLongchamp, Division I Boston College bound. Luke DeLongchamp, you can't say it enough, Bill Thomas. It's that impressive.
Yeah, and he's not the only one college bound, too. They got a number of players, Rollins, Assumption, Mass Maritime, Worcester State, all going to be represented from players on this St. Paul team.
There's a bit of a delay at home plate. It appears there's an issue with rosin. And so they find a rosin bag.
It's not that sticky rosin.
I was going to say, it's not that that tack rosin.
They caught a pitcher with sticky rosin yesterday.
My, oh my,
He says it was just rosin in the majors. It's only rosin.
Mixed with a little bit of syrup.
Spit or something. You walk out there with a mouthful of maple syrup and then spit it on it or something.
DeLongchamp's full windup. First offering to the leadoff batter, Smith, is a fastball ripped right by on the outer half for a called strike one.
It's business.
Tyler coming off an excellent game last Friday. Was it Friday that we were here last?
Yeah, Friday.
Oh, takes one for the team right
and
there.
And he wears that one.
Oh,
and they're going to say he stuck his elbow out.
I don't know about that.
Big call from the plate umpire here at home plate.
It'll be a called strike as well, so 0-2 now, the count on Smith.
And Smith, frustrated, he flips the elbow pad over to the dugout, and they say it was in the strike zone, so it is a called strike 2.
I haven't seen that all year.
No balls, 2 strikes, the count to Smith, who stays at home plate after wearing one, and DeLongchamp whips that one in, misses knee-high outside. Called ball 1. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Things are testy already, boys.
I think the heat quite literally has been turned up on this one. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. That one missed outside, and it almost appears maybe DeLongchamp overthrowing a little bit here to the first batter, Smith.
A little bit. I'm kind of surprised Smith didn't take a minute to put his elbow pad back on and just collect himself, but he's dug right back in.
I think he was making a point, Bill Thomas.
So
2-2 pitch, hard line drive, down to one knee, Rubin. Bobbled at short, recovers, throw to first, not in time! Tyler Smith runs that one down.
Total hustle play right there off that little bobble from the shortstop.
So that'll be an error on the shortstop there. And I think right off the bat, you're going to see Leominster try to start to manufacture some runs. You've got a dangerous runner with Smith on base.
And I think that was kind of a speed error there. Tyler's pretty good down the line for a catcher, and I think the shortstop kind of took a peek.
DeLongchamp decides he may want to try to snap one over, and that one had some authority on it. Deegan Miller makes the great save over at first. Thankfully, he's about 6 feet tall and was able to catch that one 2 feet over his head.
This feels like a rivalry game.
It really does. This is setting up to be quite the rivalry, and I've got a little more on that, Kate, because there is some history here. Bunt dropped down there at the plate by Sean Dutton. DeLongchamp off the mound will field it himself, reach out and make the tag at first base, but it is a successful sacrifice, sending Tyler Smith on down to second.
Excellent job right there. What do you think about that bunt, lady?
Well, it was a little bit of an excuse me, kind of jammed him, but put it down on that right side of the infield, giving Smith the opportunity to get to second. And if anything had happened, had there been a mistake, he would have been able to get to third without any problem. So I like it. I think it's a great call. They know DeLongchamp is a tough person to get runs against. Manufacture if they give you the opportunity and get that bunt down. I like it.
Yeah, good job, DeLongchamp. A good fielder right there. Sure hands, but he didn't bunt it straight at him and had no chance at second base. So as far as that goes, he did a great job right there, bunting it down the first baseline.
Evan McCarthy at the plate sees the first breaking ball of the day from DeLongchamp, and it will sail high for ball one. And then LaFrancois has trouble getting the ball back to DeLongchamp. That one hits the ground and rolls all the way back to home plate. 1 ball, no strikes, the count to McCarthy. Tyler Smith down at second. DeLongchamp takes the long look here with 1 out, the 1-0 pitch. Ball up and in to McCarthy, 2-0.
Nice eye right there. Didn't bite on that high fastball. You know he wants to do some early damage here and help himself out. He's got to show patience. You know, we talked about pitch count. Got to start right away in the first inning. Don't be over anxious.
2-0 the count to McCarthy with Smith at second. High pitch through the glove of LaFrancois all the way to the backstop, and that will allow Smith to advance on to third. Wild pitch from DeLongchamp allows the move up for Smith. Was able to get the glove on it was LaFrancois, but I have a hard time billing a catcher for a pass ball for a pitch that was double his height.
And coming in with that kind of heat on it too. He just could have got the glove up there if it was a little quicker, but
3-0 pitch, ball 4.
That was turned into a semi-intentional walk right there too. I think a little bit of respect shown Evan McCarthy.
Runners now at the corners with 1 out, and Coach Barnaby will call timeout, and he's going to send Connor Bolak down as the courtesy runner for the pitcher in this case, which is McCarthy. So Connor Bolak takes over as the courtesy runner for the pitcher down at first base. So runners now at the corners, Smith at third, and Bolak for McCarthy at first. That brings Nick Garcia, the cleanup hitter, to home plate. Battling DeLongchamp. The first offering there is a ball outside, 1-0.
This is where things could get interesting. Multiple runners on here early in the game for Leominster, middle of the order.
1-0 pitch to Garcia, up and in, and right now DeLongchamp, Kate, needs right now a radar to find home plate.
That's 5 in a row right now for DeLongchamp. 5 balls in a row. He's going to have to settle down. He needs to throw a strike.
And you can't blame him. This is an exciting atmosphere, maybe the biggest you've seen all year. 2-0 pitch, fastball, strike on the outside corner, 2-1.
It's the take sign all day
That
long
kind of
from Coach Barnaby.
Yeah.
Yep.
I think they knew that.
Yeah. He was not going to have him swing until a strike got thrown.
2 balls, 1 strike, 1 out. DeLongchamp snaps a throw on over to first. It sends Bolak diving back in. Smith doesn't move. He was standing about a half a step off a third. Runners at the corners. Smith at third. 2-1 offering is fouled up and out of play, and the count will level at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Chris Kine had a great post out there on Twitter, Kate, to your earlier point about this having like a rivalry feel to it. If you take the combined record of Holy Name and St. Peter Marion and you unite it in the history of St. Paul, that's pretty much the only people Leominster has played in their district finals, save for a few smatterings.
Pretty impressive.
The 2-2 pitch misses outside, 3 balls, 2 strikes, and if you combine those totals, now granted it's 2 school histories against 1, the combined Holy Name St. Peter Marion has had much more luck against Leominster in Central Mass finals than the other way around. Payoff pitch, line drive, back up the middle and into center field, and Smith will scamper home and score. Bolak around second, heading into third. He's dead to rights at third base for the second out of the inning, but nonetheless, it's an RBI single for Nick Garcia.
Nice job, good piece of hit, and DeLongchamp just barely had that tick off his glove there. Couldn't snag it. Hut shot up into center field.
1-0, Leominster the lead, bottom of the first inning, and Leominster draws that first score. And Kate, so important to make a statement when you couldn't score on DeLongchamp when you played during the regular season.
Especially early on. That's going to give your pitcher, McCarthy, a lot more confidence going back out onto the mound, knowing that you're going to get something and make something happen when you get the opportunity.
First pitch to Brandon Arsenault is ball 1.
You know, just the fact that they broke through here in the first inning, Todd and Kate, to a pitcher that basically shut him down 4 straight innings first time around, I think something you can build on early on.
Second pitch swinging for Arsenault, fouled out of play. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Well, and Bill Thomas, to your point, the pitch count is only going in the direction that Leominster wants. DeLongchamp was so efficient in their last outing. It was like unseemly how efficient he was.
The 1-1 pitch misses up and in. 2 balls and a strike.
And to your point, Kate, I think 12 pitches first time around, first inning, when these two teams met a couple weeks ago, and definitely having struggles this time around.
2-1 misses up and in. 3 balls and a strike with 2 outs here in the bottom of the first. Leominster already with a run in. Nick Garcia is over at first. DeLongchamp steals a quick look. 3-1 offering. High fastball outside, ball 4.
Interesting.
And all of a sudden, Luke DeLongchamp, this inning just keeps going in the wrong direction and getting longer. And Coach Ed Riley asks for a timeout, and he's going to take a walk to the mound and trying to slow things down. What do you do here,
And this is an incredibly interesting situation to be in, because DeLongchamp is so talented, and you expect as your ace to be able to give you at least a few quality innings. And right now he's laboring out there. There are a lot more balls going across than there are strikes, and Leominster being, adept enough on offense to know that they need to wait and make DeLongchamp come to them. And at this point, they're taking advantage of every opportunity that DeLongchamp is giving them. And Coach Riley knows they can't allow Leominster to get out to too far a lead, because Leominster has an incredibly respectable pitcher in Evan McCarthy on the mound tonight, and he is known for going the distance in ball games and minimizing any offensive damage. So Coach Riley knows he needs to settle DeLongchamp, because it's going to be a very long night otherwise.
Indeed it will be. And so Coach Riley settles DeLongchamp down, who has got his jersey untucked. He is as disheveled as I've seen him ever. And he sends his first pitch to Savatelli, a fastball up and in. Not what you wanted after the conversation.
And Bill Thomas, all of these balls are missing high in the zone.
I see that. Exactly right, Kate.
1-0, up again. 2 balls, no strikes.
So there is clearly something, I don't necessarily know if it's mechanical or if it's humidity related, that he's just not getting a very good grip on this ball, and it's flying out of his hand and just kind of floating up in that zone.
2-0, that one had good bear down on it. It's a strike 1 on the outside. 2 balls and a strike to Savatelli.
And he's fast approaching 25 pitches here in this first inning. Leominster couldn't ask for a better scenario here.
Runners on first and second. The 2-1 offering. Nice frame by LeFrancois for strike 2. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Sometimes you got to help your pitcher out.
He's got the best last name in the business back there.
Indeed he does. DeLongchamp in the stretch. Stares in. Sneaks a peek down at second. 2-2 with 2 outs. Breaking ball froze Savatelli, but it floated for ball 3. 3 balls and 2 strikes.
It came in a little high. Caught a break there. Tony was fooled, but fortunately it didn't drop in.
Runners will be off on the pitch here with 2 outs.
Indeed they will. Payoff pitch. It's a ground ball past the diving LeFrancois at third. Around third and heading into home is Garcia, and Leominster is on fire. The 2-out single from Tony Savatelli, and in the bottom of the first inning, Leominster's got a 2-0 lead.
Nice job. Nice piece of hitting right there. After he was fooled, he was almost sent to the bench there on that previous pitch, but timed that one up nicely, right through the hole into left field.
Station to station moved Arsenault on the play, on down to second. So Leominster with Savatelli at first, Brandon Arsenault down at second. 2-0 their lead, and the first at bat for Eamon Durkin, the right fielder here in the bottom of the first, sees a called strike 1 on the inner half. DeLongchamp's 0-1. Durkin goes the other way with it and lofts it in for a single on into left field. We've got a developing situation. It is cut off at the plate. Arsenault will slide in safely. Leominster's got a 3-0 lead, and the throw allows a great advance behind the play. Savatelli slides face first on into third. Leominster up 3-0 here in the bottom of the first.
They're just piling up now, and I think it's that pitch count showing some fatigue here. Long first inning for DeLongchamp.
With that cutoff coming in from the left side of the outfield, it drew the third baseman away from the bag. Fantastic base running by Leominster there to know that third base was not occupied by a defensive player and able to take that extra base. Now you've got runners on the corners with 2 outs. More runners in scoring position for Leominster. That only bodes well for them.
Leominster's had a lot of fun with 2 outs. Batters 4 through 7 have all been at the plate with 2 outs. And DeLongchamp starts off the designated hitter Nico Martinez with ball 1 up and in. 1-0 goes the count. DeLongchamp set with runners at the corners. The 1-0 pitch floats. Bazidlo moves to his right, makes the play at second base onto first. 4-3 the putout ends the threat, but not before Leominster dings up DeLongchamp. 3 runs in the bottom of the first on the back of 3 big RBI singles. We've got more to come. This is RFM on the K-Zone. And out to Doyle Field we are as we continue on here on RFM in 1 day delay. And live audio here on the K-Zone. Great to have you with us. AM1280, 105.3 FM, the K-Zone, WPKZstream.com for the live streaming audio as well. If you're tuning in looking for Red Sox baseball, Red Sox Royals follows us. We will join that in progress at the conclusion of this Central Massachusetts High School Baseball Championship. 5, 6, 7 due up in the inning for the Knights here in the second inning, and we were talking a little bit about that history that Chris Kine had posted on the Leominster High School Twitter earlier today with the 14 different appearances that Leominster has made in this title game, and that combined history that is now Holy Name and St. Peter Marion, now all unified as St. Paul's. You go all the way back to 1982. Holy Name takes a 1-0 victory in this game over Leominster. Move down to 1986. Leominster, a 5-3 win over St. Peter Marion in 14 innings. Then you move down a little further. You move all the way down to 2008, June 14th, 2008. St. Peter Marion, a 10-8 win over Leominster in this game. Then to June of 2014, Leominster, a 2-0 victory over St. Peter Marion. And most recently, June of 2018, St. Peter Marion, a 2-0 win over Leominster, the last time these two teams found themselves in this game. That's where we are. Great stat hit. Chris Kine out there on Twitter at Leominster Athletics out there for a great follow, great stat. And I mean, you just see the legacy and history in this game. Of course, united in Holy Name and St. Peter Marion, now St. Paul, together, but they've certainly gotten the better of Leominster in the aggregate.
It's an interesting rivalry and kind of a nice combination of forces coming together here. I know on the softball side of things, we always ran up against either Holy Name or St. Peter Marion, and it never ended well for us here at Leominster. McCarthy starts off with Deegan Miller in the 5-hole. Miller, Cushy, and LaFrancois do up 5, 6, 7 in the inning, and it's a called strike 1. McCarthy? Starting off here for McCarthy, yes, in the top of the second. Seeds. And he throws yet another one for a called strike 2.
I think he's out there with a renewed confidence and playing with a lead now, but this is where you got to come out with a shutdown inning right here to really set the tone.
And McCarthy working quickly in from the stretch. Back set at the chest, 0-2 pitch. Reaching and spoiling that one, Miller. He'll have another 0-2 offering. And Bill Thomas, we talked about this a little bit earlier, about that bulldog that's inside McCarthy that you termed it. He's got some great boxing connections here. Both his grandfather and his great-grandfather were New England boxing champions, competed in the Golden Gloves, incredibly successful. Great-grandfather was the original New England boxing, I believe they said, the chairman of that board. Great history there, and of course it just shows that family lineage of athletics that's involved, and certainly you could see it in his stick-to-itiveness out here.
Yeah, it seems to be coming through here on the diamond, up there on the mound. He's a fighter.
The 1-2 pitch, chopped ground ball, all the way out to Massa, flat-footed. He'll come up with it onto first, and in time to get Miller by his step. 6-3 goes that put out.
Nice sure-handed shortstop play right there. Knew he didn't have to rush it. Took that extra second on that last nice room service hop. Got it over to first in plenty of time.
And Cushy, the designated hitter, comes to the plate, and this is his first opportunity to get into this game, coming here in the top of the second inning with his team behind 3-1. When you're that hitting specialist, this is your opportunity to make a contribution. First pitch swinging. He pops this one up down the first baseline toward the fence. Arsenault giving chase, and he makes the catch one step shy of the fence.
Nice job right there, staying with it. Couldn't have had much room to play with. He ran out of our sight down beyond the dugout there, but watching the umpire and hearing the crowd cheer, we knew what the call was.
And that brings Jake LaFrancois, the catcher, to the plate with 2 outs here in the top of the second inning, and McCarthy seemingly only getting stronger. Hangs the right arm in the stretch. Now comes set tall. First offering, a breaking ball, strike 1 at the knees.
If anything, he's definitely pitching with a renewed sense of confidence out there, taking that 3-run lead out to the mound here in the second inning, and just coming out firing strikes.
Coach Riley did not like that strike call.
Disagreed. 0-1 offering, fouled up and out of play by LaFrancois. He's in the hole 0-2, and Kate, right now, things aren't breaking the way of the Knights. I can understand potentially the frustration that may develop.
Especially early in the game. A lot of baseball here left to play.
Great crowd, though.
A great crowd, only getting better here at Doyle Field. 0-2 pitch. Ball up and in.
You know, I have to commend the MIAA and the athletic directors getting together. You know, the heat aside, just moving the game, I think, even before we knew what this heat wave was going to look like. Great move, allowing the fans.
1-2 with 2 outs, misses off the outside corner, 2-2.
You know, the parents to get out of work, and you know, really, I tell you, there's got to be, I'm going to guess, close to 500 fans here scattered around the park.
Largest crowd of the season.
The outfield is full. I mean, every fence panel's got people at it. Fans all ringing the ballpark here.
Deuces are wild on the board. Here's McCarthy, and a swing and a miss from LaFrancois for out number 3. McCarthy out of the second inning in order. 9 top for the Blue Devils coming up in the bottom of the second inning, but through 1.5, it's Leominster 3 and St. Paul's nothing. More to come. This is RFM on the K-Zone. All the feelings of summer here as we continue on with championship baseball on the K-Zone and RFM. Todd Robbins, Bill Thomas, Kate Robbins, and you. DJ Derek Drown back at Master Control, pushing the buttons, making the magic happen on the radio side of things. And great to have you with us for this Central Massachusetts championship game as we work our way to the bottom half of the second inning. 9 top for the Blue Devils, as we said, heading on into the break. It's Ryan Fava, Tyler Smith, Sean Dutton due up in the inning for Leominster. First pitch swinging, Fava on DeLongchamp, wanted to get right into the mix, and he waves wildly at strike 1.
You know, we'll have to see what kind of mentality DeLongchamp brings to the mound here.
Fava pushes that one down the right field line. Going back is Miller and makes the catch about 10 feet behind first base and right on the line.
And Bill Thomas, although a routine pop-up, the sun at this time of day on the right side of the field, particularly first base and right field respectively, nothing, absolutely nothing is routine right now.
Yeah, it's tough sun. The only 2 positions. Second base a little bit, but you're spot on with that analysis, Kate.
Second time through the order for Leominster as we're back to the top with Tyler Smith. He sees ball one from DeLongchamp here in the bottom of the second. Smith reached on an error at shortstop, became the first run scored of the ball game, and he'll rip the 1-0 pitch wide of third base for strike number one.
He's just happy he's not being asked to bunt, so I don't get sassy with him.
Indeed, it was one of my favorite off-air comments. We'll share that coming up in a moment. Here comes the 1-1 pitch from DeLongchamp. Ball off the outside corner, 2-1. After his interview, if we're with us for the broadcast the other day, he says to me when we headed on into break, I was just glad I didn't get asked to bunt, says Smith, or I was going to get yelled at by that lady on the broadcast. The 2-1 pitch called strike on the outside corner. 2 balls and 2 strikes. And we've determined, Kate, you're clearly Coach Barnaby's best friend, because I swear I remember his dad telling me to get the bunt down at some point in life. Here's the 2-2 pitch, floats high, 3 balls and 2 strikes.
For nothing else, Kate, you got him thinking about it.
I'm emblazoned with mean bunt lady.
The coaches can yell at him all they can, but they don't want to hear it from the mean bunt lady.
The mean bunt lady.
3-2 pitch, fouled to the backstop. We'll try a 3-2 again for Smith. I just appreciate the great personality. Smith certainly showed that off in the interview, but even off air as well. It's not easy being a high school athlete facing the kind of broadcast that they get, but to have the right kind of mentality toward it is what I appreciate. Floating breaking ball, just clipped a piece of it, got a piece of the glove of LeFrancois, and rolled harmlessly to the backstop, Bill Thomas.
Yeah, you know, what I'm seeing is Tyler Smith doesn't have that elbow pad on there at this at-bat. He's like, nah, I'm not.
If I get hit by it, I'm going to wear it.
Yeah, I'm not going to stick my elbow back.
Third 3-2 pitch, and Smith gets underneath this one, lofts it towards second base. Bazidlo coming in, fighting that sun from the third base side, and he will make the catch in full sun for out number 2.
Right after we talk about that tough sun, Kate, that second baseman's got probably about as hot of a try you can have there, but good job sticking with it.
Absolutely.
You guys noted in the first inning, of course, that DeLongchamp was missing high on everything. That's continued here into the second, but now Leominster chasing it. Seems like they're getting underneath it and driving a lot of fly balls as he starts off Dutton with a ball number 1.
Well, and sometimes when your teammates get some runs on the board, you want to get into that rally, and sometimes it makes you a little amped up, a little antsy, and you start to chase.
The 1-0 pitch to Dutton. Strike one down the middle, 1 ball, 1 strike. Dutton had the sacrifice, bunt down the first baseline that moved Smith over for out number 1. But he got the bunt down. The 1-1 pitch. Soft breaking ball for a called strike 2, 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Tough curve ball right there, starting out at Dutton. Not much you can do with that.
DeLongchamp working the full windup. Here comes the 1 ball, 2 strike offering. Dutton goes with it toward right center field. Everybody giving chase, and it one-hops the wall. He slows as he rounds first about halfway to second, but plenty of time for Dutton to complete his journey to second base, and a celebration down at second as he waves hello. He's got himself a 2-out double.
Nice poke right there. No man's land out towards the flagpole, perfectly placed between the center fielder and right fielder. One hop the fence, deep right center field there, but plenty of legs to get him to second base.
2 outs here in the bottom of the second. Leominster with the 3-run lead. Dutton now in scoring position. And Evan McCarthy comes to the plate. And DeLongchamp airmails second base, sends this one on into center. The error will allow Dutton to advance to third. And DeLongchamp is all sorts of on fire with himself as he double clutched that ball and sent it on into center field.
Yeah, and I'm sure he's thinking to himself, totally unnecessary. He's working with 2 outs. You know, that runner, you got to work on the guy at the plate. Yeah, Evan McCarthy's up here, and he's a big hitter, but little break in concentration right there, I think, by DeLongchamp overall.
Curveball for strike 1 to McCarthy at the plate. McCarthy walked, and then his position was retired at third base when he was lifted for the courtesy runner.
I think the zone has opened up just a smidge on the breaking balls, especially on the outside. McCarthy chases.
Chase that one, yeah, I agree with you, Kate. 0-2 now the count to McCarthy with 2 outs here in the bottom of the second. 0-2 pitch, hard fastball. McCarthy got a piece of it and spoiled it out of play.
You know, I'm looking at DeLongchamp. He looks like he's laboring out there somewhat. He just was bent over, hands on his knees, taking some really deep breaths out there. If nothing else, he's much deeper into the pitch count than he has in the other game we saw him.
DeLongchamp stares in, 0-2 breaking ball. Cue shot foul. And chasing it down to touch it up is LeFrancois. We'll try another 0-2 pitch.
Nice job by McCarthy in this at-bat to spoil anything that's been close with 2 strikes. So he gets another bite at the apple with a runner in scoring position and 2 outs here. He's just trying to help himself at this point.
Anybody got a tack rag? I'm sweating on my scorecard. The 0-2 pitch. Ooh. Ball off the outside corner. That one came down the chalk line.
Flirting with disaster there.
1 ball, 2 strikes, the count to McCarthy.
My heart fluttered.
DeLongchamp looks out over the glove, brings the 1-2 pitch, fastball down the pipe. McCarthy will foul this one down the right field line and out of play.
You know, you got to look at where the catch is setting up too, Kate, though. He's hopping out to that outside corner. He's basically on the line of the left-handed batter's box. He's hopping out there looking for that outside pitch.
Here comes the 1-2 pitch. Breaking ball. McCarthy lofts this one down the left field line, and it will fall in for an RBI, at least single. McCarthy rounds first and trots on in uncontested to second. He throws the big T as he throws the wings out at second base, and Leominster has a 4-0 lead on the RBI double with 2 outs for Evan McCarthy.
Another 2-out RBI. The first inning, they had 2 2-out singles leading to the second and third runs batted in there in the first inning, and 2 outs magic right here. Back-to-back doubles by Dutton and McCarthy.
Leominster out to the 4-0 lead. They send Connor Bolak out to second for McCarthy as the courtesy runner. And Nick Garcia is at the plate, faces ball 1 from DeLongchamp.
I will caution our viewers and listeners, however, this is the type of a start that St. Paul's got out to in the beginning of their previous matchup, so do not think that this is over by any stretch.
1-0 pitch, clipped foul into LaFrancois' glove for strike number 1.
That had some juice on it.
I was thinking the same
indeed
thing.
It did.
I was thinking the same thing.
DeLongchamp's not going anywhere. The 1-1 pitch, breaking ball missed inside, 2 balls and a strike. Right now, if you think about it, go with that boxing reference we were using earlier. Right now, the champ has gotten hit on the chin a couple of times. He's staggering a little bit, but he's not down and out by any stretch. He's punching all the way to the bell. Here's the 2-1. That one misses wide, and 3-1 goes the count to Garcia.
He's definitely staggered right now, and he's looking for that little extra, but his controls abandoned him somewhat. He could be still a little shaken up by that bad throw in the center field.
A 3-1 breaking ball. Strike 2 on the outside corner. Count runs full to Garcia. Single and a run scored last inning. DeLongchamp stares at Bolak. 3-2 with 2 outs. Ball 4 high.
Uncharacteristic second walk for DeLongchamp. He only had 1 in 4 innings first time around.
And his 25 innings pitched, Bill Thomas, it was a pretty low number, somewhere around 5 coming into the day. And the pitching coach out of the dugout, and timeout called. He'll stroll on out to the mound. Bottom of the second inning, 2 outs, 4-0 Leominster lead in the Central Massachusetts final. And of course, Kate, to your point, the game not being over, not changing the channel, don't go anywhere, don't quit on this one. To our fans, both listening and watching this game, you look at those scores we were running down historically in this matchup. 10-8, 10-9. 2-0, 5-4, 6-5 was the first meeting of these two schools earlier this year, and it was a walk-off win for Leominster. You have to imagine, in this circumstance, we're far down the road from over here in the bottom of the second.
Absolutely, far from over, and both of these teams have a lot of fight in them, and so that's why we have to play all 7.
Far from over, but a word of caution, 51 pitches I have for DeLongchamp. He's not out of the second. I had him for 55 through 4 complete first time around.
Man, oh man.
And
definitely working him.
Strike 1 to Arsenal. Walked and a run scored in the first. The 0-1 breaking ball. Sweeped and missed. 1 ball, 1 strike.
It's really the curveball, I think, that's deserted DeLongchamp tonight.
1-1.
I would agree.
Strike 2 on the fastball outer half.
And at times that float up in the zone.
1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs to Arsenal. Sees the 1-2 pitch. Pull the trigger for a called strike 3, inning over. But not before Leominster has a little more fun. Back-to-back doubles, as Bill Thomas mentioned, leads to Sean Dutton scoring on Evan McCarthy's follow-up double. And Leominster through 2 complete here at historic Doyle Field. as the top seed leads the 7 seed St. Paul 4-0 through 2. More to come. This is RFM on the K-Zone. To the top of the 3rd inning we go here on the K-Zone, and in 1-day delay here on RFM. Great to have you along with us. Facebook.com/Media Rivalry for the streaming premiere. YouTube out there as well. Search Rivalry Family Media. Like, follow, and subscribe today. Anytime we post content, go live. Either way, you get alerted on your smart-enabled device. Just picked up our 500th follower on RFM on Facebook. We appreciate your support. 500, Bill Thomas. 500 folks participate with us and get those notifications. Smash that like button, says Bill Thomas. I love it. I absolutely love it.
Subscribe, smash them all.
I was going to say, hit every button you can find. 8-9 top for St. Paul here in the top of the 3rd inning. It's Bazidlo, Johnson, and back to Smith we go. Due up to face Evan McCarthy, who has gone just about in order through innings 1 and 2. Just the one extra batter in the top of the 1st that, of course, he saw. Other than that, he has seen a total of 7 through 2 innings, but right now seemingly getting stronger. Let's see how things progress on into the 3rd. Bottom half of the order here, and what we've seen with McCarthy, bottom half of orders throughout this year, he does not fool around with the bottom half of the order. He's going to bring the ball right to him, which means first pitch swinging is a good strategy.
Yeah, he's got to come right at him. He's already gone 3 balls on 3 hitters here in the first 2 innings. He's got to cut down those 3-ball counts. Just come right at him, throw strikes, play defense.
Bazidlo stands in, first offering from McCarthy. Strike poured right over the heart.
I think he heard us. Maybe Tyler Smith heard him and sent the signal out there, throw a strike.
It certainly wasn't. What was that? His check down? What was that? His shake signal? Here comes the 0-1 pitch. Ball off the outside corner. 1 ball, 1 strike. McCarthy fixes his hat, resets on top of the mound, stares in at Smith. The diminutive Bazidlo with the big bat stands in the righty. The 1-1 floated and missed in. 2 balls and a strike. Sometimes when you're going from these 6-foot hitters, Kate, to somebody who's mid-5 feet, changes your plane substantially.
Oh, I think you're absolutely right there.
2 balls and a strike. McCarthy takes the big deep breath out there. Shadow now encompasses all of the grass on the infield. The 2-1 is strike 2 on the outside half. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Beautiful night for baseball here tonight. Couldn't ask for a better. Even the weather, the heat. I mean, we're in enough shade. Crowd shaded. It's a fantastic night for baseball.
I give kudos to the people out in the outfield that are actually on purpose sitting in the sun.
Well,
I couldn't do that.
I see some movement in the trees out there. I think there's a nice cool breeze out there in the outfield bleacher section.
I have a breeze right here, too.
The flag's moving around a little bit.
2-2 pitch. Bazidlo reaches for it, and he'll poke this one out of play down the first base line. We'll try another 2-2 offering, and I mean 360 degrees of seating all around Doyle Field's diamond tonight. Packed in the box seats. It's bring your own box seat. There's Media Road diamond side here up the first base side. Third base side, they're sitting about 3 rows deep in the box seats. Some folks got some nice ones behind home plate standing as well. The 2-2 misses up and in. And it'll be a 3-ball, 2-strike count to Bazidlo, leadoff batter here in the top of the 3rd.
I'm guessing just around us and our media broadcaster, there's going to be 100 people standing back here alone. A great crowd, tremendous shows support for both teams tonight.
Great viewing angle as well as McCarthy stares down at Bazidlo and Smith. Got his signal. Here comes his 3-2 pitch. Foul to the backstop by Bazidlo, and that's how you keep alive.
You know, but this isn't the hitter that Evan wants to be wasting pitches on. These 8 and 9 hitters, you got to come right at them. You know, Bazidlo's already working for a 7-pitch, 8-pitch at bat here, and these are the batters, the part of the order. You got to mow them down, send them back to the dugout.
McCarthy stares in, got his sign now set at the chest, double clutches the foot. Another 3-2 pitch, called strike 3.
3-2 curveball. That's showing a lot of confidence in your pitch selection right there between Tyler Smith and Evan McCarthy.
And Bazidlo knew it right away. The grimace right away before the verbal from the umpire, he knew.
It was there all the way for the first out here in the top of the 3rd inning. Colin Johnson, the right fielder, comes to the plate to complete the night's order. He's the last to face McCarthy first time around before we return to the top. Stands even in that right-handed batter's box. Comes set, stares out. McCarthy's first offering, ball 1 floats.
Once again, the 9-hitter here. You don't want to be wasting pitches and energy here. Don't want to get around to the top of the order. They can do damage really quick.
McCarthy with a 1-0 offering. Rips a fastball missed inside. 2 balls, no strikes.
You look surprised, Todd. You sounded surprised.
I was surprised.
Slightly.
Just a little. Missed by a hair. Fell off the river into the ocean. Here comes the 2-0. There it is
Same
for
spot.
a called strike.
Close.
2 balls and a strike.
First one was on the black. The black's not part of the play.
Never seen 2 pitches, Bill Thomas, in the same place.
Same spot.
Oh
It's like a snowflake.
That's right. 2 balls, 1 strike, 1 out here in the top of the 3rd inning. St. Paul's trying to get something going here with Colin Johnson. 2-1 pitch, checks his swing and missed up and in, 3-1.
Again, Bill Thomas going deep into the count. Are these
Yeah.
8 and 9 batters
3-ball count again, Kate.
kind of
Exactly
surprised?
right.
Which is very, very unusual for a McCarthy pitched game. Maybe laboring a little bit here with the heat and humidity. 3-1, lifted up and out of play. Johnson just missed that one, sending it over our head and out of play. 3 balls, 2 strikes.
Payoff pitch coming up, but right now, McCarthy's heat to the bottom of the order. They have not been able to keep up with it.
And
So as long
McCarthy
as- go ahead.
comes set. Go ahead, Kate.
Just hit his location.
3-2 with 1 out. Swing and a miss, strike 3.
That's a way to come after him right there. But you don't want to go full before you get to that point. It's going to start wearing on you.
It was hard work to get there, Kate, but he got himself to 2 strikeouts in this at bottom 2, 8-9 spot in the order before going back to the top of the order. Cody Smith, the center fielder, flew out to center field in his first at-bat on the 3rd pitch he saw in the ball game. And now McCarthy stares in at him for time number 2 through the order. Foul to the backstop. 0-1. Kate, what do you want to see second time through the order here?
Offensively or defensively?
Let's go with both.
I think that the top of the order for St. Paul's had done some nice things. I think, unfortunately, they weren't able to execute on the base pass. So I think if you're Coach Riley, once you get those runners on, you want them to perform along with their counterparts in the box a little bit better.
0-1. Foul to the backstop. 0-2.
If you're McCarthy and Leominster, I think you want either ground ball or fly ball out. You do not want yet another batter going deep into the count. Right now, McCarthy ahead of 0-2. That's exactly where you want to be if you're Leominster. Generate some type of ground ball or can of corn fly ball. Get out of the inning quickly.
McCarthy stares on in. No balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. And wastes that one up and away to the lefty batter. 1 ball, 2 strikes. McCarthy gets his signal. Now the relay from Smith out to him. The 1-2 with 2. Breaking ball lifted to left field. Giving chase after it, it's Fava toward the line, and he will make the catch to complete the top of the 3rd. Through 2.5 here at Doyle Field. It's Leominster 4 and St. Paul's nothing. More to come. This is RFM on the K-Zone. it. Bottom of the third inning here on the K-Zone and in a day delay here on RFM. Great to have you along with us. Todd Robbins, Bill Thomas, Kate Robbins, and you, DJ Derek Drown, back at Master Control. The one and only Howie Kahn out here visiting us as well. Diamond side here on the K-Zone.
Visiting?
Visiting, absolutely. Always great
It's good to see Howie.
Always great to see Howie Kahn here. The Renegade's got his noontime lunchbox tomorrow, Tuesday, here on the K-Zone, AM1280, 105.3 FM. He's got a couple of guests joining him. The notable Senator John Cronin is in as Howie's guest. Noontime lunchbox on a Tuesday right here on the K-Zone, AM 1280 and 105.3 FM. Tune on in for that one with your midday summer lunch as well as Leominster goes to the 6-hole here, 6, 7, 8 as we move our way to the bottom half of the third inning. Savatelli sees the 0-1 pitch miss wide. 1 ball, 1 strike goes the count. Yes, that is the one and only Howie Kahn joining us here on the K-Zone as well. DeLongchamp sends the 1-1 pitch. It misses inside, 2 balls and a strike.
You know, going back to last half inning there, Evan McCarthy did a good job, 3 up, 3 down. DeLongchamp, not much time in the dugout to catch his breath.
2-1, Savatelli, big wave for strike 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes. DeLongchamp working quickly now. Here comes his 2-2. He's got a rhythm, and Savatelli fouls that one off. Keep the at-bat alive.
Savatelli there doing a nice job shortening up his swing with a very formidable fastball coming in from DeLongchamp.
Another 2-2 offering from DeLongchamp. Swing and a miss, but this one's in the dirt. LaFrancois has to pick it up, flip it on to first, and a great stretch and dig combination by Deegan Miller completes the strikeout.
That was kind of sloppy but effective there. A little extra effort to get that first out of the inning.
The important part is they
It's
cut
an out.
it, as the case may be.
Exactly right.
It's a very exciting out number 1. And to the plate comes Eamon Durkin. Singled and stranded in his first at-bat. Sends a ball, DeLongchamp does wide, and LeFrancois having to work back there, catches ball number 1.
Some of those misses have been misses.
Indeed, they have been. Durkin had the RBI in his first at-bat with the single, and now sees the 1-0 for a called strike.
But I mean, if you just feel your hands right now, just out here, the amount of moisture and humidity is just absolutely tremendous. I can't imagine.
And I'm sitting still. Durkin lofts the 1-1 pitch toward right center. Giving chase is Colin Johnson. Sticks the glove out and makes the waist-high catch on a dead sprint.
Nice job right there, covering right center field by the right fielder.
And once again, we cannot emphasize enough, the sun in that area of this ball field is nothing to smirk at. It is absolutely directly in the face of the right side of the infield and outfield. The only one that is afforded any type of shade is first base.
2 outs here in the third. And first pitch swinging is Martinez, the designated hitter. He'll loft this one to center field. Right at Cody Smith. Doesn't have to move. Makes the catch for out number 3. And in order go the Blue Devils for DeLongchamp in the bottom half of the third. 3 complete here at Doyle Field. Top seed Blue Devils 4. 7 seed St. Paul's nothing. More to come. This is RFM on the K-Zone. So here we go to the top of the fourth inning. MIAA Central Massachusetts Championship here on the K-Zone Live on this Monday, June the 28th. Middle of the statewide tournament bracket with this district round. And then from here, winner goes to play the Central West crossover in a bracket and date we think will be on or about Wednesday, but has not yet been announced, with a final slated either for Friday or Saturday. That July 3rd date is the cutoff to end all competition in the 2020-2021 COVID-modified four-season athletic year for the MIAA. Winner of this one moves on. Will play the winner of the Division I West bracket coming up later on this week. North will play South. Winners will square off for the Division I State Baseball Championship. All that with dates and information to be announced. And so in the meantime, here we go. Leominster with that 4-0 lead goes to the top of the fourth, where the Knights will send slots 2, 3, 4 to the plate. That's LeFrancois, Rubin, and DeLongchamp. They made a little noise in the first inning, but it was quickly snuffed out in the process. Base running, Kate and Billy, was a problem in that first inning in this part of the order.
Yeah, they had a caught stealing. I don't know if it was a missed sign or failed contact there. We saw Coach Riley not real happy about the outcome of that. Kind of took him out of that first inning. But successive 1, 2, 3 innings for Evan McCarthy in the second and third. Kept his pitch count down. I got him at about 40, 41 pitches so far. Actually 30 I'm looking at here. About 41 pitches. Good, efficient first half of the game for Evan up to this point.
And Max LeFrancois stands in. He singled, was the one caught stealing in the first, and he sees ball one go by. Now here comes the 1-0 pitch. Called strike on the outside corner. 1 ball, 1 strike. Here we are, top of the fourth inning. Doyle Field, St. Paul desperately looking for that spark, and this is the part of the order where you would expect it to come from. McCarthy ready now with his signal. The 1-1. Called strike on the outside corner. Pinpoint accuracy. Outer third at the knees. Beautiful location.
Yes, indeed. Not much you can do about it as a hitter. Maybe try to throw the head of the bat out there and foul it off, but not much else.
1-2. Breaking ball. Waves and misses. Does LeFrancois. Fourth strikeout of the day for McCarthy. Third in as many innings.
That pinpoint pitch for strike 2, I think, helped set that strikeout up totally. You know, between innings, went for a little walk. Kids back here from St. John's, Wachusett. I mean, if you don't think word gets around and these kids support each other and come out and watch each other, that's part of the crowd we got here tonight.
No question about that. One out here in the top of the fourth. Joey Rubin, the shortstop, and McCarthy sends a fastball on in wide for ball number 1.
Lies.
Rubin reached on a walk in his first at-bat and then was cut down on a fielder's choice to end the first, and he sees the 1-0 go by for ball 2. 2 balls and no strikes.
It's not where you want to mess around, though, and put somebody on for DeLongchamp, because he can turn it around really quick.
And has proven it before. Homered in the last game these two teams squared off back at the beginning of the month. 2-0 pitch swinging here for Rubin, and it will fall in at the fence in right center. Around first and cruising on into second is Joey Rubin, and he's got himself a double.
Over Eamon Durkin's head there. Nothing he could do about that besides a tough sun. That ball was ripped. And one hop the fence. Good job getting it back in and holding that to a double. A hit like that to right field could very easily turn into a 3-bagger.
And Luke DeLongchamp comes to the plate with 1 out here in the top of the fourth. He was the kind of recipient of the fielder's choice that ended the first inning. And now he's got himself into the right-handed batter's box. Sees his first pitch from McCarthy in this second at-bat. It's a ball off the outside corner to the right-hander.
And Billy and Todd, first base unoccupied with 1 out here, so McCarthy not forced. Yeah.
The 1-0 pitch. Breaking ball well off the outside corner, 2-0.
McCarthy not going to be forced to give him anything that looks remotely like a strike.
The oft-talked about unintentional, intentional walk. A sign of a tip of the cap, if you will. 4 pitches, nowhere in the zip code. McCarthy sneaks a peek at second base and rips a pitch in there. Ball up and out, 3-0.
I think Luke knows that he's on his way possibly to an intentional walk here. But you never know. Seen stranger things happen here, especially if we get the room service strike here, or take all the way, I'm guessing.
3-0 pitch, fastball 4.
Could turn
strike
that at
1.
bat right around now. We'll see.
Can't imagine DeLongchamp's going to consider taking that bat off his shoulder unless he sees something real good on 3-1 with 1 out.
And I'm thinking even 3-1, it's got to be like right there. Just as soon work the count 3-2 if he doesn't like it.
He needs a watermelon. The 3-1, and he's 3-1 swinging. Launches this one high to the deepest part of right center field, and it is gone on the walkway. Oh my! A 2-run bomb for Luke DeLongchamp, and Leominster's lead is cut in half.
It's one way to get your team up and back in the game. Here through our crowd mic / player mic that St. Paul's out there, and they are celebrating heavily.
Indeed they are, and with good reason. A 3-1 home run to deep right center field. If you're familiar with Doyle Field, Bill Thomas referred to the flagpole. That was 1 hop away from the lower bowl, bombed.
That had to have traveled 400 feet easily. Deepest part of the ballpark out there. Watch it sail over the fence.
I will repeat, first base was unoccupied.
Indeed it was.
I know.
Deegan Miller, the first baseman, comes to the plate. He grounded out to short in the second. Was his only at-bat of the ball game. Fouls off the first pitch. He sees it in the hole 0-1.
I hate to see the other team's best player be the one doing the damage, but Evan challenged him, especially when he got the 3-1.
0-1 breaking ball, strike 2.
It's almost like the Longchamp set him up for that. It's like, yep, let me get in the hitter's count, and I get the swing or the do what you want sign, and he took advantage of it.
And McCarthy exhales, shakes off Smith. Now he's got what he wants. Here's the 0-2. Line drive down the right field line, and one hops in front of Durkin for a fair ball. And it is a single for Deegan Miller with 1 out here in the top of the 4th. And all of a sudden, here comes St. Paul's with a whole lot of momentum.
And we made it very clear in the first inning when Leominster got out to that early lead that this one was by no means over. That even with a 4-0 advantage in the second inning, that Leominster had their work cut out for them because such a quality St. Paul's Knights team. And so you have that situation where we knew many of their matchups were very close, high-scoring affairs, but very close. Both of these teams have a lot of grit and have a lot of fight in them, and so they're going to use every single inning that's at their disposal. It's going to go the distance in this one. Neither of these teams has given up.
Get set wherever you are. You should be home by now. Get settled in. If you're watching it in 1-day delay, you know this is a dandy of action here on RFM. If you're with us live here on the K-Zone, stay with us all the way to the conclusion of this one. Coach Ed Vowles out of the dugout to have a conversation with McCarthy, and now slowly walks on back. And this is just a case, Bill Thomas, of resetting the troops. Let's just slow things down a little bit.
There was nothing other than just go out and have a conversation. Gather yourself up here in the heart of the order. Don't lose focus.
And Ben Cushy at the plate. He foul flew out to first base in his first at-bat back in the second, and he sees strike 1 call.
And Bill and Todd, the biggest thing is not to panic. You still have a lead. You still have a 2-run lead. So you have 2 outs to get out of the inning and then get back at bat.
The 0-1, fouled to the backstop, 0-2, Cushy.
You know, and as you work your way down the batting order here, Evan cruised through this part of the order the first time around. Going to have to see if he can continue that success.
Indeed, he will. Miller on down at first, 1 out, top of the 4th inning, 4-2. Leominster's lead halved on a Luke DeLongchamp 2-run home run. The 0-2 pitch misses high. 1 ball, 2 strikes goes the count. Cushy stares out at McCarthy. You can hear the energy over in that St. Paul dugout, far different than what we've heard over the last couple of innings. The 1-2 waved at Cushy, fouls it off. He'll try another 1-2 offering. McCarthy takes the long walk around the mound, heads on back up to the top of it. It's where he's going to demonstrate that grit and determination Kate has talked about. Stares on in here. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. Breaking ball. Waved at and missed. Strike 3.
Big out right there. So when he needed to get himself back on track.
2 swinging strikeouts, bookends, a double, a 2-run homer, and a single. Now 2 outs here in the top of the 4th, and Jake LaFrancois comes to the plate. He was a swinging strikeout victim to end the 2nd.
LaFrancois right now your leading candidate for the Pigpen Award.
Oh, I got to put Savatelli in there. He landed in a mound of dust as the first offering to Jake LaFrancois was a check swing breaking ball. Went too far, called a strike at the plate.
You can have your nominee, and I'll have my own.
Absolutely. We'll see how it ends the day. I'll say this for LaFrancois. You know, we've heard the term, that was the easiest game I've ever caught from Tyler Smith before. I've got to imagine for Jake LaFrancois, working with the Division I bound Luke DeLongchamp, this might be the hardest game he's ever had to catch.
I think you're probably right about that.
Here comes the 0-1. Check swing, called strike at the plate.
Tried to check a swing, called the strike all the way by the umpire.
Indeed it was. 2 strikes now with 2 outs, top of the 4th inning, and McCarthy desperately wants his butt in the dugouts. Here comes the 0-2. Letter high, ball. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Bring him back for a little extra right there. Have to see if he comes back with that curveball.
Smith fine with that location, though, not wanting to give LaFrancois anything close there. Head 0-2.
Miller leads off of first, and McCarthy asks for time as he stares in at LaFrancois' 1-2 count. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs, top of the 4th inning. 2 runs already in the inning for the Knights. 4-2 Leominster's lead, and right now you feel like it's a loose grip. 1 ball, 2 strikes, freezes LaFrancois for strike 3.
Tyler wanted to fire that down to third base on strike 3, but he was waiting for the umpire. Didn't want to embarrass him. Nice job right there.
Through 3.5 complete here at Doyle Field. It's Leominster 4, St. Paul 2. A 2-run home run for Luke DeLongchamp cuts into that Leominster lead. He heads back to the mound to build on that success when we come back. 9 top for the Blue Devils as we go to the bottom of the 4th inning. This is RFM on the K-Zone. Bottom of the 4th inning, 9 top due up for Leominster. It's Fava, Smith, and Dutton. 4-2 Leominster's lead as we enter the bottom of the 4th inning. Luke DeLongchamp got St. Paul on the board with a 2-run home run in the top half of this inning. Stay with us here on the K-Zone, your 4th of July weekend. You're home for the most live games, Red Sox baseball, and a best of the Scholastic Sports Zone with Howie Kahn and crew 11 to noon on Sunday right here on AM1280, 105.3 FM, and WPKZstream.com, the K-Zone. Here we go, bottom of the 4th, Ryan Fava at the plate. First pitch from DeLongchamp, missed inside, and LaFrancois shaking his head. Thought that one was pretty good, but it's recorded as ball number 1.
You can see some of that frustration.
A 1-0, missed again, 2-0. I think the plate umpire saw the head shake.
That means you don't get the next close one.
You better believe you don't. Looking down over the glove, here comes the 2-0 offering from DeLongchamp. It's a hot line drive, left center field, plenty of room, and it will fall in for a base hit. Fava's on his horse. He's around first, scrambling for the ball. In center is Cody Smith. He'll get it into the cutoff, but with huge energy, cruising on into second base, it's Ryan Fava with a leadoff double here in the bottom of the fourth, Kate.
Somebody's coming up in a bunt situation who doesn't look. Uh-oh.
Did he look over here, Kate?
He did not. He did not. But I don't know if Coach Barnaby gave him anything that he needed to do. I think he's swinging away, and good on him.
I might too. I think runner's already in scoring position.
He might look at Coach and go, "There's absolutely no way.
No chance.
Don't make me bunt."
No chance.
Oh, it's funny.
No, he can get the bunt down. He just
But
doesn't like my being here.
He's put the ball in play a couple of times.
Yeah.
I think he's swinging
And he's
away.
been phenomenal on the base path. He's been doing a great job up to bat all night long, has Smith.
DeLongchamp steers a look at Fava and then decides, let's reset things. Smith reached on an error, became a run, scored first one of the ball game in the bottom of the first inning, and then flew out to second base to end the second inning. DeLongchamp stares at Fava, doing a little dance, shows bunt, reaches forward, and fouled off. And he hops on the toes, and Smith may have stole a little look over here, Kate, to our diamond side broadcast position.
I put my head down.
That pitch a strike on the foul ball.
I'm not saying anything.
Get the bunt off.
Yeah. First, get the bunt down of the ball game.
He's going to be so mad at me.
The 0-1, DeLongchamp steers out into left. Now back to the plate. Bunt again, pulled back. That one rolls on in. Fava too far off of second. LaFrancois snaps a throw on down. Nice play by Joey Rubin to get the tag down, but not in time.
It's a great take there on that bunt, obviously.
Nice job by Francois to keep that ball in front of him. 55-foot curveball right there.
DeLongchamp was working on the
bunt
bowling
away
for dollars there.
Put the bunt away if that goes to the backstop.
1-1 pitch. On the way, shows bunt, got it down up the third base line, fielded by Max LaFrancois over to first, and wide of the bag. No, in time for the out. Was a late signal there.
They were looking at each other because they clipped.
Aha.
They clipped.
Good job by Tyler Smith getting a bunt down.
That's right, Bill
Making
Thomas.
the third baseman field it, take away that possible play at third.
That's right, Bill Thomas.
Did everything right there.
That's right, Bill Thomas. Just get it down the first try.
6-4, the putout officially on that one. Bazidlo covering.
No, he did a great job. That was beautifully placed.
Fava moves on over to third on the sacrifice bunt from Smith up that third base line. One out here now in the bottom of the fourth, and DeLongchamp sends a breaking ball wide to Sean Dutton. Dutton sacrificed in his first at-bat to move Smith over, then doubled, became a run scored in the second. The 1-0 pitch from DeLongchamp. Make it 2-0. Fava after the double and then the sacrifice stands on down at third base. DeLongchamp, the right-hander, staring right at him. The 2-0 pitch. Line shot, snared out of the air by Bazidlo for an out. Snapped a throw back. Fava back in time at third.
Good hustle right there.
Beautiful heads-up play, both defensively and offensively by the base runner. Second baseman had a long way to go after that line drive to attempt to get that runner out. And it was a close play at third base. Phenomenal base running as well. Who's on third base?
That is Fava over
Fava,
there.
nice
Ryan
job.
Fava.
Nice heads up to scurry on back quickly.
Great play by Bazidlo. That line drive was shin high and off his glove side. Made a fantastic catch out there at second base. Two outs, bottom of the fourth, 4-2 the lead, and McCarthy comes to the plate. McCarthy, first pitch swinging, sends it down the right field line, and it is caught to end the threat here in the bottom of the fourth.
Diving catch in foul territory.
What a play down the line.
Right in front of the bullpen down there.
4 complete here at Doyle Field. Leominster made some noise with Ryan Fava's leadoff double, but he is stranded at third as the sacrifice produced out number 1. The line shot catch on Sean Dutton by Bazidlo, and then Evan McCarthy first pitch flyout down right field ends the threat for the Blue Devils here in the fourth. 4 completed Doyle Field. Top seed Leominster 4. 7 seed St. Paul 2, and more to come. To the top of the 5th we go. This is high school championship baseball on RFM on the K-Zone. Top of the 5th inning we go here at Doyle Field on the K-Zone and RFM in one-day delay. Great to have you along with us. Todd Robbins, Bill Thomas, Kate Robbins, and you, DJ Derek Drown, back at Master Control on the K-Zone end of things. Kate's pushing the buttons, making the magic happen on the one-day delay here on RFM, and it's great to have you with us. Wherever you are joining us out there, Facebook.com/Media Rivalry for the one-day delay. You can like, follow, and subscribe on the Facebook side. YouTube, you can get it on the same day. Check it out on YouTube.com. Search Rivalry Family Media. You'll get to about Rivalry FA, and you will get Rivalry Family Media. Like, follow, subscribe, smash that like button, Bill Thomas says.
And do you have the brackets? Because I just heard Dick read a score, and whoever the winner of this game plays, they're tied 1-1 in the 9th.
Well, I appreciate that.
But I didn't catch that. All I caught was the tail end of it.
Dick gets better information. What am I going to say? You know?
I'm not even sure who the two teams are, but I caught the winner of this game, tied 1-1 in the 9th, plays that winner on Wednesday.
We'll see what we can get. We'll see what we can get for information out there as well.
So does the winner of this play West? The winner
That's
of the
correct.
West side?
Central West. That is correct. For St. Paul's here in the 5th, it is 8-9 top. So Bazidlo, Johnson, Smith due up in the inning. For McCarthy, this has been an orderly run through this section of the batting order as he's about to go through the order for the 3rd time tonight. We will see how that progresses.
Got a K of the actually 7, 8, and 9 first time through. Got 7 to close out the 4th inning. Facing 8 and 9, who struck out, one looking, one swinging back in the 2nd inning. Have to see if that success can continue.
That is correct. And stepping in is Bazidlo, the second baseman, fresh off that great line shot catch down at second base. He'll see his first pitch from McCarthy here in the 5th is a ball outside. 1-0 goes the count. Setting sun off the third base line. Bazidlo digs himself a hole. 1-0 pitch from McCarthy. Call the strike on the outer half. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Through 4, Todd and Kate. I got McCarthy, give or take a pitch or two at around 62 pitches. Very efficient up to this point. I think he's got plenty of gas left in the tank. Although he did just come off a 21-pitch inning in the 4th.
Most trouble he's had all day.
Exactly.
Led to the couple of runs. The 1-1 misses wide. 2 balls and a strike.
I'll have to see if he can get that mojo back here. You don't want another 20-pitch inning, not in this kind of heat.
Stares in, comes back to his chin, 2-1. Ball off the outer half, 3 balls and a strike it goes.
You don't want to be messing around with 8 and 9 here.
And these, he did get the 2 strikeouts, Bill Thomas, that you mentioned in this bottom half of the order last time around, but it was after 3-2 pitches.
On both of the batters, the 8 and 9 hitters, both worked them full.
3-1, missed down and in. Bazidlo, the little bat flip, and a little excitement, tries to fire up his teammates. He draws the walk to open the 5th.
We'll have to see how St. Paul's played this. Fully expect a bunt here from the 9 hitter, Colin Johnson. Have to see if Blue Devils try to put a play on here. Charge a third baseman, maybe try to cut down that runner at second. Make it a little harder for the bunt.
Especially down in the 9.
Johnson tries to protect with the bunt attempt on the first offering. Going on the pitch was Bazidlo, and he slides in safely down at second base.
Go ahead, Bill.
I think Tyler Smith got caught napping there a little bit.
Double clutched.
Double clutched. Wasn't looking for that steal off of that bunt attempt.
Johnson was out over the front of the plate as well, so you got to wait for him to clear. That's the whole purpose of showing that bunt.
Coach Riley let his base runner know they were not supposed to go on the pitch. They were supposed to go when the bunt got down.
It was a sacrifice attempt. Didn't work out. Now the bunt out again, and Johnson reaches and waves for strike 2. It's a stolen base for Bazidlo in the process, but an 0-2 count for Johnson at the plate. Nobody out here in the top of the 5th.
Now he's going to need to make contact.
Knights looking to manufacture 2 to get themselves even in this one.
Still try to bunt with 2 strikes here, Kate?
No, not with the last 2 efforts that we just saw.
The 0-2, swing and a miss, and Johnson is retired on 3 straight pitches.
Overpowering that bat right there for McCarthy taking control of Johnson.
Got an update, Bill Thomas. You ask, Kate gets all over it. Jason Cates, reporter from Western Mass. The Western Mass Division I baseball final in the 7th inning. Score tied at 1. Northampton and Westfield in action. Winner of that one gets the winner of this one in the Central West crossover. Back to the top of the order here for the Knights, and Cody Smith sees a ball 1 go by. He's flown out to center and left in his previous 2 at-bats.
I'm officially perplexed by the strike zone.
Want to know the count. The 1-0 breaking ball. Strike 1. 1 ball, 1 strike. What's perplexing, Kate?
Looks different from the side.
Just different all the time. Just different.
A parabolic strike zone. Seems to adapt.
Yeah.
I'm with you. Okay.
Yeah.
1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. I've been there.
It eludes me.
Lead is Bazidlo at second base, and McCarthy sends the 1-1 into the dirt and backhanded by Smith.
Nice job by Smith to keep in front of him.
2 balls and a strike on Smith at the plate. Tyler Smith catching, Cody Smith the leadoff batter, the lefty at the plate with a 2-1 count with 1 out.
A little communication hiccup there between Smith and McCarthy.
Yeah, everybody resets, everybody gets signals. McCarthy ready now. 2-1 offering. Swing and a miss. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
He's back for a little extra right there, did Evan.
Gonna challenge the leadoff part of the order.
Well, he needs to get through this leadoff part of the order unscathed.
Got his signal now. Working quickly. Here comes the 2-2 with 1 out. Swing and a miss. Strike 3.
High strike right there. High cheese. Got him fishing.
2 outs in the top of the 5th, and that brings Max LaFrancois, the third baseman, to the plate. Singled, caught stealing in the 1st, and then a swinging strikeout in his last at-bat in the 4th. And he'll now battle McCarthy in the top of the 5th with 2 outs. Bazidlo with his lead out at second base. McCarthy has paid him no mind thus far. First pitch, fastball to the backstop, 0-1. McCarthy, very deliberate in his movements out there, trying to conserve energy. Getting set now in the stretch. 0-1 the count with 2 outs. Bazidlo off at second base with just token pressure. The 0-1 in the dirt, away from Smith and all the way to the backstop. Bazidlo around third will slam on the brakes and will walk back. And all of a sudden, you've got a runner 90 feet from scoring.
Yeah, you don't want to let this runner find his way home here. Especially after you bore down and got 2 strikeouts.
Wild pitch on that one.
After that base on balls.
1 ball, 1 strike, 2 outs to the batter, LaFrancois at the plate. The 1-1, breaking ball. Pulled the string a little too hard, 2 balls and a strike. And McCarthy taking his time. Now comes back set at the rubber. Hangs the arm. 2 balls, 1 strike, 2 outs on LaFrancois. Fastball up and in, cut on and missed. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Once again, that high strike, hard to lay off right there.
Coach Riley not happy with the pitch selection by LaFrancois in the batter's box, indicating far too high to be swinging that pitch.
Point made. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, top of the 5th inning. A single plates a run and makes a 1-run ball game. 2-2 pitch, fouled up and out of play. We'll try another 2-2.
Once again, spoiling off a high pitch right there. Lucky to make contact.
And if Mir McCarthy, he likes the high ones.
Stay up there.
And they're not letting the umpires make the decisions on the St. Paul side of things.
Nope.
They'd rather go down swinging than be called looking. 2-2 with 2 outs once again from the chin. Here's McCarthy. Fastball high, 3-2.
Very similar to the pitch he swung at the last 2 pitches. That one he swung and missed. The other one he fouled off, let that one go by, got the ball caught.
3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, top of the 5th inning. St. Paul's just a little poke away from making this a 1-run ball game. The Francois settles in, fouls off the 3-2 offering. Try another 3-2 count.
And he gets closer with every single pitch that he sees, closer and closer.
And they've done a very good job of making McCarthy work after the first 2 innings. Innings 3, 4, and now 5 have been extended visits for McCarthy out to the defensive position. 3-2 pitch, line drive into right field for a base hit, and the run will score. It's a 2-out RBI single for Max LaFrancois, and we've got ourselves a 1-run ball game here in the top of the 5th.
And how often does a leadoff walk come back to haunt you? That's exactly what happened right there. Walking the number 8 hitter finds his way around to score.
And once again, we told you off the top, we had a very good information historically and in their last visit together that this was not going to be a blowout. Whatever team got the early momentum was going to struggle to hold it for the whole game.
And now Joey Rubin comes to the plate and sees a called strike 1 go by. Rubin walked in his first at-bat, was cut down on a fielder's choice to end the first, doubled in a run scored in the 4th. The 0-1. Ball off the outer corner. 1 ball, 1 strike goes the count.
These are the hitters you didn't want to have to face at this in this type of situation. The 3 and 4 hitters.
Especially considering
Runner on
what's
base.
on deck.
All right, got to run in. Looking at the long champ in the on-deck circle.
McCarthy's 1-1 offering. Breaking ball missed. 2 balls and a strike.
And now McCarthy is flirting on this line of attacking the hitters, the batters, but also understanding and respecting that you have the 3-4 hitters up to bat and on deck respectively.
The 2-1 line shot, gloved low on the trap. Up with it is Massa. Finds Savatelli at second to cut down the lead runner and end the threat here in the top of the 5th. But through 4.5, St. Paul has closed this to a 1-run game. It's Leominster 4, St. Paul 3, more to come. Bottom of the 5th, heart of the order, 4, 5, 6 for the Blue Devils. Due up. This is RFM on the K-Zone. Bottom of the 5th inning here on the K-Zone in a dandy of a Central Massachusetts final from Doyle Field here on the K-Zone. If you're looking for Red Sox baseball, it's Red Sox Royals coming up. We'll join that game in progress at the conclusion of this one here on the K-Zone. 4.5 done here at Doyle Field as we wander to the bottom half of the fifth. Leominster nursing a 1-run, 4-3 lead here in the bottom half of the fifth inning. They've got 4, 5, 6 due up in the order, and what they desperately need is to make a little noise. Haven't scored a run since back in the second inning, and right now that's starting to feel like it is starting to composite itself together. Nick Garcia at the plate, single and a run scored in the first, walked and stranded in the second. Sees a first pitch from DeLongchamp for a called strike.
Well, you talk about DeLongchamp seemed to get stronger as the game went on. The first time these two teams met.
0-1, foul ball to the backstop. 0-2.
First 2 innings, I had him for 55 pitches. Last 2 innings, 21. Ooh. I mean, he's really found his way.
Changed the methodology.
Third and fourth inning.
DeLongchamp readies. Brings his 0-2 offering to Garcia. Ball missed high. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Right where LaFrancois asked for it, though. As an umpire, when the catcher stands essentially completely upright, what can you do?
Gets a little nerve-wracking. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Chopping ground ball over to second base. Bazidlo to his right makes the play waist high and on to first. 4-3 goes the putout.
Good sure-handed play out there at second base by Bazidlo. Gets the first out of the inning. The other thing of note, Todd, not only an 11 and a 10 pitch, Todd Cape, but back-to-back 1, 2, 3 innings too. So DeLongchamp's really gotten efficient since he got out of the second inning.
Brandon Arsenault comes to the plate. First pitch swinging, chopped down the line at third. Plate umpire right on the line to make a great foul ball call. Touch just outside of the chalk. 0-1 goes the count to Arsenault. Walked in a run scored in the first. Caught looking in his last at-bat in the second.
Those high grass slips down there along the foul line, those edges, you got to follow that all the way and get it as quick as you can when it's in foul territory. Don't let it kick on you.
DeLongchamp with the high pause. Now the 0-1, waved at and missed by Arsenault. 0-2. This is the Luke DeLongchamp that is as advertised.
Yep.
Arsenault back in. DeLongchamp stares out over that black glove, and here he comes with the 0-2 pitch. Ball wasted up and in. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Yeah, he's really turned it around since he struggled those first 2 innings. Base run is all over the place, over 50 pitches. He's really become efficient since then.
DeLongchamp from the full windup. 1-2 offering to Arsenault. Breaking ball, freezes him for strike 3.
Inside corner, started out right at him. Excellent pitch.
2 up and 2 down here in the bottom of the fifth for the Blue Devils, and that brings Tony Savatelli to the plate. Singled and stranded at third in the first inning, swinging strikeout in his last at-bat in the third. 2 outs here in the bottom of the fifth with Savatelli at the plate.
Did get himself an RBI in that first at-bat there in the first inning.
DeLongchamp hit the glove, but it was wide, ball 1.
Coach Riley having to come and get the ball.
Yeah, he's going to hustle on over to help out over here on the near side. 1-0 the count. DeLongchamp looking to make quick work of the Blue Devils in the bottom of the fifth. 1-0. Brings the fastball. Savatelli pulls it wide and out of play down the third base line. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Was headed toward the track.
Out onto the soccer field.
Savatelli settles in, stands back in that right-handed batter's box. He's going to see a 1-1 from DeLongchamp with 2 outs. Breaking ball floated away. 2 balls and a strike. DeLongchamp readies, brings a 2-1 offering to the plate. Climbs the elevator. That one missed. 3 balls and a strike. DeLongchamp ready once again to bring a 3-1 with 2 outs. Hot shot foul down the third base line, and the count runs full with 2 outs here to Savatelli.
Savatelli doing a great job. I got him for full counts in all 3 of his at-bats tonight. Definitely seeing a lot of pitches, working those counts.
DeLongchamp with another payoff pitch. Ground ball pulled at LaFrancois at third. Up with it on to first. It pulled Miller off the bag. He makes the catch, maintains his poise, steps on first, ends the inning. 5-3 goes the putout there to conclude the bottom of the fifth. 5 complete in the Central Mass Division I final. Leominster 4, St. Paul 3, and more to come. This is RFM on the K-Zone. What a Monday night to start your week, heading on into the 4th of July weekend coming up. You keep it locked right here on the K-Zone. Senator John Cronin joins Howie Kahn and crew noontime on Tuesday as we continue on through your week, and an update from out in Western Mass. Still tied at 1, Northampton and Westfield. Winner of that one gets the winner of this one in the Central West State semifinal coming up on what we believe will be Wednesday. But all that information still to be determined by our friends over in the land of Franklin, the MIAA.
And I believe at the home of the higher seed.
That is the plan.
And I don't know the seeds of what the opponents are. Either one of them a 1?
That's, well, that Leominster is the 1. If the other is the 1, I imagine coin flip.
Coin flip.
Get the tracksuits out and head to Applebee's and make some decisions, people.
I hate it when things come down. There's got to be a stat there we can use somehow.
Somehow, some way.
Better record. Go with the better record.
Bill Thomas, next year.
Coin toss,
1 to
Applebee's.
1 to 32, 1 to 32 plus ties. Everybody will have a rank
there'll
statewide. There'll only be 1-1.
Exactly right.
And that is how they will resolve that problem going into next year. And our old friend Tom from the Telegram must love you right now.
My ode to Tom Flanagan.
Indeed. 4, 5, 6, heart of the order due up here in the top of the 6th for the Knights. It's DeLongchamp, Miller, and Cushy due at the plate. Lights coming on here at Doyle Field. Just past 7:36 on a Monday evening. 4-3 Leominster's lead, and McCarthy still working. Deals a breaking ball over the heart for a called strike 1 to DeLongchamp. Reached on a fielder's choice in the first inning. Homered 2-run style to get the scoring started back in the 4th.
I got McCarthy at about 87 pitches right now. I'll have to see if he's got 2 more innings in him.
0-1 misses wide, 1 ball, 1 strike.
I think if you're Leominster's coaching staff, particularly Coach Vowles, the pitching coach, you're looking for a quick inning here to maybe get him to squeeze in a 7th inning.
And we did see a couple of relief pitches heading down to Leominster's bullpen, though. I know they're going to be ready.
Double barrel action in the pen.
Indeed. Fouled off and out of play. We saw both Angel Baez and Ryan Garner chase on down, and we can see them from our first base broadcast location, working double barrel style, as Kate said, a lefty and a righty working in the bullpen for Leominster should McCarthy need be lifted. The 1-2 breaking ball, cut on and missed by DeLongchamp. He's retired.
That had to feel good right there. Give McCarthy a little extra jolt of adrenaline, I'm guessing. I'll have to see if he can carry it through the rest of the inning.
And Katie showed no fear going back after DeLongchamp.
And you're absolutely right. And that's one of the things. You've got to have a short memory in this instance because you know that you're going to face them again. And DeLongchamp, as formative a hitter as he is, as you said, McCarthy, no fear there.
And he started him off with a great curveball at that at-bat, and that's what he finished him with. Nice sequence of pitches right there between Smith and McCarthy.
Deegan Miller comes to the plate, fouls the first pitch he sees to the backstop, 0-1 with 1 out. Miller grounded out to short, singled and stranded in the 4th. 0-1 breaking ball, missed outside, 1 ball, 1 strike. This has been a very true corner-to-corner strike zone tonight, called on both sides. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out here in the 6th, and a timeout called. Everybody wanted off. McCarthy wanted off the rubber. Miller wanted out of the box. Smith just wanted out of that one-legged crouch thing he was doing. Just wanted some time to think. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. Here comes McCarthy's pitch, a breaking ball for a called strike 2.
Good looking pitch right there, just kind of floating it out over the outside corner.
And we've got a final score out in Western Mass. Jason Cates reporting. Northampton, the winner of the Western Mass Division I title, with a 2-1 victory over Westfield in 9 innings. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. McCarthy reared back and blew that one by Miller.
Evan seems like he's getting stronger, but I think he's running on adrenaline right now. But I got to bet that first strikeout of the Longchamp really set him up for the rest of the season.
And Bill Thomas, think about this. He must know exactly where he is with regard to pitches. He knows he needs to have an expedient inning.
He knows he's
got to get out
100 to 110 tops, and he's got to get out of this inning in less than 15 pitches to expect to see the 7th.
Back-to-back swinging strikeouts, and it brings Ben Cushy to the plate. Fouls the first pitch he sees to the backstop. He's in the hole.
And that will
0-1.
And that will rejuvenate you, Bill Thomas, knowing there is a hard cap on what you are able to do. And McCarthy is essentially known over the last several starts for going the distance. He wants all 7 innings.
Well, not only going the distance, but he's got no problem throwing 100-plus pitches too, Kate. So he's definitely a bulldog.
0-1 pitch up and in, tipped into Smith's glove for strike 2. Cushy flew out to first base foul style in the 2nd inning, swinging strikeout in the 4th in his last at-bat. Now in the hole, 0-2 with 2 outs here in the top of the 6th, and McCarthy looking to make quick work of the Knights and get his team back on the offensive side of things. 0-2 pitch, lifted down the right field line by Cushy. On to make the catch is Eamon Durkin for out number 3 here in the top of the 6th. In order go the Knights. 4, 5, 6, 3 up, 3 down, 2 by way of the swinging K, and a fly out to Durkin in right field. Through 5.5 here at Doyle Field. Leominster 4, St. Paul's 3. The winner gets Northampton, a 2-1 winner over Westfield in the Western Mass Division I final. All that and more to come. This has been every bit of the McCarthy, DeLongchamp, and company battle that we have promised you. The exciting conclusion when we continue. This is RFM on the K-Zone. Back to historic Doyle Field in Leominster. Pitching change for the Knights. Luke DeLongchamp is out. Close the book on him after 5 complete innings of work. Justin DeFalco comes in relief. Bill Thomas and I just going over the book from the last time these two teams got together back on June the 2nd. DeFalco, 1+ innings pitched, allowed 4 hits, a run that was earned, no walks and a strikeout, Bill Thomas, but nonetheless he took the loss in that game in the concluding inning.
I think he came into a 5-0 game at the time, and things quickly went south for St. Paul, not just for him, but the rest of the relievers in that 5th inning. And that's when Leominster put 5 up to claw their way back into that game.
And I must say, I am surprised by the decision by Coach Riley to make the similar change. DeLongchamp, again, had looked like he was starting to cruise. I know his pitches were up there. Bill, was he in the area of needing to come out?
Well, I had him at 89 pitches, but he just cruised through 3, basically a 3-1-2-3 innings. He did face 4 batters in the 4th, but 1 over the minimum the last 3 innings.
DeFalco facing Eamon Durkin. First pitch swinging that Durkin sees from the new pitcher DeFalco. Fouled it off the catcher and the umpire all the way to the backstop. 0-1.
Right.
Umpire shaking the arm loose there. That hurts a little.
He's got the shiba.
The 0-1, soft breaking ball. Durkin fouls that one away. So Leominster not afraid seeing a new pitcher swinging at the first two pitches.
Exactly the point I'm making. All of a sudden, first two pitches, brand new pitcher, contact on both strikes from Leominster. Although you're at 7, 8, 9 in the order, this is where some of the magic happens with this Leominster lineup.
The 0-2 pitch, and Durkin looked that one all the way into LaFrancois' mitt. 1 ball, 2 strikes, the count.
You know, to go back to how DeLongchamp pitched the last 3 innings, I had him for 55 pitches the first 2, 34 the last 3. I mean, he was cruising.
Durkin hits this one on the ground, down the first baseline, scooped by Miller, and Miller to first base for the out. 3 unassisted. You score that one for out number 1.
You know, it'll be interesting to see if McCarthy comes out for the 7th inning. I think he's going to come out until he gets in trouble, to be honest with you.
I agree.
If he gets in trouble, you have a reliever ready.
And Bill Thomas, he's in the part of the order that you want to be facing in the 7th inning.
Yep, part of the order. He's dominated for the most part of the game.
Nico Martinez sees ball 1 go by. 1-0 goes the count. Grounded out to second base, flew out to center field in his 2 at-bats for Nico Martinez against DeLongchamp. Now against DeFalco, 1-0. Make it 2-0.
Falco, not quite the zip on his fastball that DeLongchamp has.
2-0 pitch, missed wide. 3-0 goes the count.
Guessing Nico's going to look at a couple here.
And the 3-0 taken all the way. Called strike, 3 balls and a strike. Close the book on DeLongchamp. 5 innings pitched, allowed 5 hits. 4 runs, we got him for earned. 3 walks, 3 strikeouts. 3-1 pitch. Call the strike on Martinez. Count runs full, 3 balls, 2 strikes with 1 out. Here in the bottom of the 6th inning, Leominster with the 4-3 lead. 3-2 pitch, wild high, and Martinez draws the walk.
Nice job by Nico right there, showing a lot of patience. Have to pitch a battle back to full from 3-0. But usually when you already got your mind made up, you're going to swing at this pitch no matter what, and you get some of your ugliest swings at that point. Nice discipline by Nico.
Left fielder Ryan Fava comes to the plate, flew out to first base, sees the first pitch from DeFalco, tipped foul for strike number 1, then opened the 4th with a double and was stranded at third base. DeFalco got the sign he wants. 0-1 offering, breaking ball right on the outer half for strike 2.
Tough pitch right there.
DeFalco is battling since entering this one. Martinez takes the lead off at first. 0-2 with 1 out. The righty from the stretch, breaking ball, pulls the string wide of the corner. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Now DeFalco looks around a little bit, wants to see Martinez being held on at first by Miller. The 1-2 pitch, it's a breaking ball low. Count levels, 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Bottom of the order here, doing a good job. Making the pitcher work, throwing a lot of strikes, trying to set the table here for the top of the order. Get Smith and Dutton up there.
They've had some magic in this part of the order throughout the season. They've had some heroism.
2-2 pitch, swing and a miss. That's tipped, they say.
Foul ball.
We didn't
I'm
see
going to
a
assume.
signal, but it must be.
Because that was a 2-2 pitch. Yep. Still another 2-2 pitch coming. So they say Fava got a little piece of that one. 2-2 with 1 out, breaking ball, chopped on the ground, sets up the orderly double play, cutting across the bag, Bazidlo for 1, on to first, in
safe.
time.
Safe.
They say that Bazidlo missed the bag at second, and Martinez is safe.
Yes.
He took that ball right away from the shortstop, going in the wrong direction. Not a timely move right there on the defense's part. It ended up costing them that out.
In the major leagues, that would have been one of those proximal.
Yeah, I was going to say
double
neighborhood plays.
Those
Proximity.
neighborhood plays, but not here.
So that out goes
the pitcher, in this case, DeFalco.
1-4 to 3, and they get the out at first.
Correct. Breaking ball floats as we go back to the top of the order, and Tyler Smith. Smith, mixed bag of a day, reached on an error in the first, became the first run scored, flew out to second base, sacrifice bunt in his last at-bat in the fourth. Sees a strike. 1 ball, 1 strike goes the count.
Looking to get his battery made an insurance run here before they go back out for the top of the 7th.
Martinez off at second. The 1-1 offering. Breaking ball. Smith launches this one down the left field line. Does it stay fair?
Yeah.
Yes, it does! Woo! A 2-run home run!
That's the way you help out your pitcher.
And Leominster is on fire. Martinez scores. Smith on the home run trot on down the line, and he will score. 6-3 Leominster.
Little exclamation point right there. You know, Tyler wanted to help out Evan, but that's about the most help he could give him right there. Right down the line, fair by about 10 feet. Cleared that high foul pole with no problem. What a timely poke right there by Tyler Smith.
2-run home run, bottom of the 6th inning for Leominster, and Leominster has doubled up St. Paul once again.
I will say it again. DeLongchamp had plenty of pitches left. He was cruising,
You wonder.
and it's the same decision that Coach Riley made in this game that he made in the last game. You wonder what DeLongchamp could have done.
The 1-0 pitch misses wide. Now the count 2-0.
You know,
of course, that goes back to, Bill Thomas, I'll set you up with this, the success DeLongchamp had after the rocky first 2 innings.
But you wonder about his pitch count all year. We saw him get removed with, under 60 pitches the first time around in 4 innings. Now, pushing 90. Maybe he was just out of gas. You never know.
Certainly a possibility. 2-1 misses wide.
And somebody that has a future like his, you don't want to take chances is where I would put that.
115 pitches is the cap, so there was plenty of room there. 3-1, and Dutton waves and misses.
Well, and if you play the odds, and the coaching staffs, they end up doing that a lot of the time because you want to mix things up. You don't want Leominster to be able to time things up.
3-2 pitch. Dutton with the excuse me chop back to DeFalco, who throws over to Miller, who is reaching, seemingly was pulled off the bag, but the first base umpire says good enough. That is an out at first and concludes the threat here in the 6th, but not before Tyler Smith deposits a 2-run home run down the left field line and gone, and Leominster on top through 6 complete here at Doyle Field, 6-3. Coach Barnaby is out of the dugout, wanders on over to talk to the umpiring crew, and he would like to know what happened on the play over at first base, but we'll head on back to the dugout. 6 complete here at Doyle Field. Leominster on top, 6-3. Last reps potentially for the Knights when we come back. Top of the 7th inning, and they will work 7, 8, 9 in the order. More to come. This is RFM on the K-Zone. Red Sox Royals coming up here. If you're continuing with us on the K-Zone, RFM joins us in the one-day delay action. Great to have you along with us wherever and however you're participating in this dandy of a Central Massachusetts final. Here on the K-Zone Radio Audio Live, AM1280, 105.3 FM, WPKZstream.com. Todd Robbins, Bill Thomas, Kate Robbins, and you. Great to have you along with us, however you've chosen to participate in this one. As we say, you can hashtag See It Again on RFM, 24-hour delay, 7 p.m. tomorrow night. That's Tuesday, the 29th of June. We'll have the stream for you, facebook.com/Media Rivalry, or later on tonight, if you stay up late, on youtube.com. This one uploaded as soon as we get home. Participate however you can. Great to have you with us. It's youtube.com. Search Rivalry Family Media. Hashtag See It Again
But
on
after
RFM.
Katie gets a snack.
That's through 6
Not
complete
before.
here at Doyle Field. It's 6-3 Leominster with the lead. McCarthy goes to the hill to try to close out the Knights. 7, 8, 9 due up in the order for St. Paul. Jake LaFrancois, victim of 2 strikeouts, one swinging, one looking, and now sees strike number 1 to start off the top of the 7th.
And Bill Thomas and Todd, McCarthy's going to have to be efficient here. He's going to have to get his work done toot sweet.
The 0-1 offering, breaking ball away, 1 ball, 1 strike.
I couldn't agree more, Kate. You know, my math says he's got about 20 pitches plus whatever batter he's facing at that point before he reaches his MIAA maximum amount of pitches allowed in the game. So we'll have to see how the 7th inning plays out.
1-1 pitch, McCarthy's breaking ball, sweeps and catches the interior corner for strike 2.
We do know that Leominster's had double barrel action warming up down the bullpen, so they're ready. I don't think they're going to mess around too much with McCarthy here. Maybe 1 base runner, and we'll see what happens.
1 ball, 2 strike count. Pitch comes to the plate. Breaking ball lofted by LaFrancois, and it will fall in center field right in front of Sean Dutton in shallow center. No chance for anybody to make a play on that one. It's a leadoff single here in the top of the 7th, and St. Paul's making a little noise to start things off.
Fell into no man's land out there, right in between the shortstop, the second baseman, the left fielder, and the center fielder. Really, nobody could get to that. Perfectly placed. Once again, 7, 8, and 9. You can't let these guys get around to the top.
Joey Bazidlo comes to the plate, sees ball 1 out of the hands of McCarthy. Victim looking in the 3rd inning, walked and scored in the 5th.
Got around very smartly his last time up. A wild pitch, a stolen base, put himself in position to score a run, which he ended up doing.
1-0. Catches the corner for strike 1. 1 ball, 1 strike. Nobody out here in the top of the 7th inning. 1-1 lifted up and out of play by Bazidlo. 1-2 goes the count. If you're looking for Red Sox baseball through 2 at Fenway Park tonight, it's the Kansas City Royals 5, Boston Red Sox 2 through 2. In Boston this evening, we will join the Red Sox radio network, Joe Castiglione and crew on the call here on AM 1280 and 105.3 FM at the conclusion of this one. Here comes the 1-2 pitch, swing and a miss from Bazidlo. Strike 3.
Nice job right there. Good job by Tyler Smith holding on to that foul tip. Gets the first out of the 7th inning.
Colin Johnson comes to the plate. 2 versions of a strikeout, both swinging, 3rd and 5th. Last time out, he was trying to sacrifice, put himself in the hole 0-2, and then swung at the 1 offering he got and went to the bench. 2 strikeouts for Johnson as he comes here in the 7th and sees ball 1 awfully close, up and in. 1-0 goes the count. LaFrancois at first, Johnson at the plate. Chasing 3 are the Knights.
McCarthy rearing back hard.
McCarthy wants to win this Central Mass final in a complete effort, and he sends the 1-0 right down the inner half for strike 1. 1 ball, 1 strike.
If he's able to do it, it saves everybody else on the team available for the next outing.
The 1-1 with 1. Outside corner, strike 2. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Pitch been there all night, continuing into the 7th. Good to see.
Are you hearing the crowd with the strike calls?
Indeed they are.
Love it.
We've got a good crowd behind the backstop here joining us.
It's been a great crowd on hand all the way around, representing both school communities. Comes the 1-2 pitch, drifts high, 2 balls, 2 strikes. And Johnson would love to be able to help move his friend over in LeFrancois. Also like to add another base runner in front of the top of the order. This is 9 top for the Knights. 2-2 pitch. Too high. 3 balls, 2 strikes.
Once again, bottom of the order, making McCarthy work.
And Billy, I think this might be the end of the leash.
Yeah, I think so too. He's not going to allow more than, another base runner here, and I expect to see Coach Barnaby pop out of the dugout.
Especially with the top.
The payoff pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 3.
And I think he kept himself in the ball game there,
right.
but I'm not sure.
I think he did.
There's some discussion here.
Yep.
Coach Barnaby is out of the
out.
dugout. He points at McCarthy.
I think he's going out to
for
talk
time.
to him. I think he's just going to talk to him.
He said, do you want to talk to me? What do you want to do? His teammates come in around him. They're giving him hugs, hand pounds, a chest bump, and that's going to do it.
That's going to do it.
Evan McCarthy lifted after 6 2/3 innings.
What a gallant effort right there, but his pitch count is up. I had him for...
he will leave to a standing ovation from 500 members of the community. Evan McCarthy may have walked off Doyle Field the last time after 6 2/3.
We'll have to see how this plays out, but I'm telling you, what a heroic effort by Evan McCarthy. That boxer mentality from his father, his grandfather, his great-grandfather. But I got him at 110 pitches, and I think this is the right move right here. You don't want him trying to get that little extra, and get himself into more trouble after pitching such a masterful ball game.
We'll meet the new pitcher, Angel Baez, when we come back. This is RFM on the K-Zone. Back to Doyle Field in Leominster. Angel Baez is the reliever coming in for Leominster. Closed the books after 6 2/3 to Evan McCarthy's total. 6 2/3 innings pitched, 5 hits scattered, 3 runs allowed. The big one, the 2-run homer to Luke DeLongchamp. 2 walks issued, 11 strikeouts to his season total of 88. 99 strikeouts on the season, Bill Thomas, and I'm not even good at math.
Nah, just a bulldog effort right there by Evan McCarthy. His pitch count was climbing. He knew it. The 4th and 5th innings kind of did him in. He had a couple of big pitch count innings right there, 21 and 24, but battled back with 2 very efficient innings, the 6th inning, 1, 2, 3, 10 pitches, and that leadoff single kind of did him in right there, keeps him from closing the game. But, I think it's best for everybody involved right here to have him walk off with his head up instead of having something go bad here and turn it over to your bullpen.
A standing ovation as he left the field. First time I have ever seen that here at Doyle Field from a fantastic crowd on hand, Kate. Just a great tribute to his season. Angel Baez comes in. Small grouping of work to look at. About 9 innings pitched, scattered some hits, got a low ERA, was scoreless the other day in 1 inning of relief, 2 strikeouts. Baez is a power pitcher. He's got the leadoff batter, Cody Smith, and he sends strike 1 down the tube.
He's got some work ahead of him, though.
We didn't get to talk about Cody Smith, but, he's wearing number 16, honoring his teammate Zach Hare, and who passed away, and they're going to retire Zach's number after the season.
The 0-1 breaking ball hit on the ground. Savatelli up with it on to first. 4-3 the putout, and Leominster is the Central Massachusetts sectional champion for 2021.
What a way to end the game. No drama right there. Baez comes in and does his job. Excellent way to close out a fantastic ball game.
And the Blue Devils celebrate at the mound. The pig pile ensues in blue and white for the last sectional championship at least for the moment, Leominster wins the Central Mass title in its last playing.
And I think we might be back here Wednesday, depending on Northampton's seeding. We haven't quite figured that out yet, but try to get that information before we go off air tonight.
We will make our best effort to get that, at least for those of you joining us in delay on RFM. For those of you joining us on the K-Zone, I got to get you off to Red Sox baseball coming up. But Leominster is the 2021 Central Massachusetts champion with a 6-3 win today here at Doyle Field, downing a strong 7-seed St. Paul Knights. And per reports, Leominster will host Northampton here at historic Doyle Field on Wednesday. RFM will have it on the one-day delay. Stay tuned for the K-Zone schedule. We'll get that information for you. Follow at WPKZ Radio for more information on that one. But it's Leominster and Northampton. 6 p.m. on Wednesday is the scheduled time. One-day delay, 7 p.m. on Thursday. We'll have it for you on RFM. K-Zone Live Audio will have that information for you coming up on social media. Stay with us for that information as well. Want to thank DJ Derek Drown back at Master Control. Thank the great folks at the K-Zone for their support. It's Red Sox baseball, top of the third inning at Fenway Park. 5-2 Royals on top of Red Sox. Joe Castiglione and crew will take you the rest of the way as we join Red Sox baseball in progress. For Bill Thomas and Kate Robbins, I am Todd Robbins. Radio side, we say so long, you're off to Red Sox baseball. On RFM, stay with us. Post-game ceremony and then more to come. Post-game report on RFM.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, Bob McNamara to present the Central Mass Division I Championship Trophy to the Leominster Blue Devils.
As you look out on historic Doyle Field here on RFM in one-day delay, getting a great look at the Blue Devils holding that Central Massachusetts trophy high. If everything stays the way it is planned, that'll be the last time the Central Massachusetts trophy is handed out. They'll move to that Samata tournament format in the years to come. In the meantime, Leominster is Central Massachusetts champion for 2021 and perhaps forever on the baseball side of things, as well as you see the team gather together around that trophy. They will move on to the Central West State semifinal on Wednesday, a game we'll have for you in one-day delay here on RFM. Leominster and Northampton, 6 p.m. here at Doyle Field. If you want to come on out and be a part of this one, as you see this one again on RFM. In the meantime, we're back with you for more to come. Enjoy this celebration out here on Doyle Field. We'll have a post-game report for you here on RFM in a matter of moments. Stick and stay. See it again right here on RFM. Leominster posting for and posing for more photos as we continue on this post-game celebration here on RFM, facebook.com/media rivalry. Great to have you along with us. We continue. Leominster continues to celebrate. Photos galore out on the field, you can see. We'll have a group on over for our post-game report, get you the final stats, set up the preview of what's coming up here. Northampton and Leominster, the Central West State semifinal coming up on Wednesday. We'll have it for you in one-day delay right here on RFM. Billy and Kate are doing a great job maestroing things out on the field and off. We'll continue. Post-game report here on RFM. Stick with us here on RFM. Post-game report rolls on here on RFM. One-day delay. Great to have you along with us as we continue. Todd Robbins, Bill Thomas, Kate Robbins, and you. Joined now diamond side by Brandon Arsenal. First baseman today, winning pitcher the other day here for Leominster. And Brandon, I got to get your first thoughts here. You guys a couple of weeks ago won what is going to be the new version of the Central Massachusetts title. This one, we'll call it quote-unquote the old version. It was the way that it has always been contested as long as either of us have been around high school athletics. And you guys get to walk away with what is potentially, at least for now, the last Central Massachusetts championship the MIAA will hand out. What's the feeling?
It's great. It's just what we do. We win. Just a great feeling. I had no doubt that we were going to win this game. Got the best pitcher in Central Mass out here. Best pitcher in Massachusetts out here. He pitched a great game.
Talk to me about the difference between this meeting and the first time you guys played. First time you guys played, maybe a little starstruck the first time you saw DeLongchamp, first time you saw him bearing down on you. Today, 2 runs in the first inning felt very, very important to change that story.
Yeah, we just worked hard and every day, practice every day. We knew we could do it. It's a great pitcher on the other team, but we knew we could do it.
You picked up the third run, a walk and a run scored there in the first inning, then a couple of things that you're not used to. They're called strikeouts, and most batters don't usually talk about it. But let's talk a little bit about your season long and total here as our first opportunity to talk to you. I talk about your discerning eye all the time, your ability to run counts full. No matter whether you're ahead in the count or behind in the count, you seem to always be able to make the pitcher work. Talk to me about what you're seeing when you're in the box.
That's our coach. He taught us the two-strike approach, the battle, just make the pitcher work, and no easy passes.
And then, of course, on the mound, you've had this kind of second opportunity. You've had this benefit of having Evan McCarthy in front of you. He's thrown a lot of innings, but you've been asked to pick up those games that, could come at any point in time. You had, of course, the victory on the other end of things in that first meeting when you had to come in relief against St. Paul the first time around. Talk to me about your opportunities. You're a very different, we talked about this in the broadcast the other day, a very different style pitcher than you would see from McCarthy. McCarthy's going to try to overpower people. You're going to try to let the ball get put in play. Talk to me about the difference in mentality.
Well, I got the best defense in Massachusetts. I know they're going to make the play. Don't have a doubt. I just throw strikes, let them hit it and play. My defense makes the plays.
You guys have about 48 hours to enjoy this, and you're right back here at Doyle Field to do it all over again against Northampton, a team that you haven't seen, none of us have seen. We'll all see for the first time come Wednesday. Talk to me about keeping it one game at a time. There's two left in front of you.
We know we can do it. We can beat any team. We're the best team. We just got to stay focused and one game at a time.
Brandon Arsenal, congratulations. You're a Central Massachusetts champion. Best of luck on Wednesday. We'll be here with you.
Right,
Brandon Arsenal joins us here on RFM. Postgame continues. More to come. Stay with us. This is RFM. Bill Thomas and Kate Robbins stay with me as we continue to move our way through our post-game report here on RFM on the old one-day delay. Great to have you along with us. We're going to just stall a little more time. We're waiting for some of our post-game guests to matriculate their way on over Diamond side to our broadcast position. Bill and Kate, let's talk about it here. I mean, we've got a huge win. Go ahead, Kate.
I'm so excited.
You're dying. You're just
I'm
dying.
So
Go ahead.
Tyler Smith's mom came over and said I get to give him a hard time about not getting the bunt down.
No, he did get the bunt down.
She said not on the first try,
Oh,
so
the
I get
first
to
try.
go right at him. She said. I'm so excited.
Well, give him a break. He did give us some insurance runs.
I
there
told
in the
her, I said it was a beautiful
inning.
punt that he got down. She goes, but he didn't do it right away. I was like, I love you. I
that's
love
funny.
you.
Some other interesting
friends.
news. I got a chance to talk to Coach Riley a little bit after he did some interviews.
Yes,
and,
this is
they
interesting.
were headed to the bus and total protection for DeLong Champ. He knew he was getting up there in pitches. They had him for close to 90 pitches. He had enough at that point, and Coach Riley bluntly said, "Hey, I threw over 2,000 innings when I was younger, and I know the wear and tear that it can take on you." He has a career, pulled no punches about it. Total protection of the player. And, convinced 100%, and I am too. Right move. If it was time to get him out of the game, time to get him out of the game. And as a former player, a pitcher, he knows the situation, and I think he handled it perfectly.
And think about the quality person that Coach Riley then is, knowing that by placing the ball in somebody else's hand, that you are potentially giving up the chance to get back into the ball game, but valuing your student athletes, their health, their well-being, their safety over being able to claw your way back into that. I have utmost respect. In the heat of the moment, knowing how DeLongchamp was throwing, to me, I don't know if I would have been able to make.
Just keep throwing it back out
keep
there.
going,
Yeah,
buddy.
I agree.
But
I
with
agree.
his expertise in that area, with his understanding of what that does to your
First-hand
arm,
knowledge, absolutely.
I have
And
all
he
the
put it to
respect in the
use.
world for that decision.
And I'm sure he had confidence in his reliever, too. He just didn't come through and wasn't able to hold that one-run deficit and put him in a little bit more of a hole there for their last at-bat in the seventh. But great move, classy move by Coach Riley right there, taking care of his players.
I always like to be the apologist for our analysis as well, though. You come from a sport in softball where throwing double headers, throwing hundreds of pitches, that underhand motion always considered, quote-unquote, more natural.
Mechanics.
So they just throw and throw and throw and throw and throw. So you wouldn't think twice about keeping a pitcher up there, even 100 pitches into an appearance.
We just saw this in the Women's College World Series.
Pitch
Odyssey
back-to-back
Alexander,
games. Yeah.
she pitched every single pitch
Right.
in the World Series for
Only
JMU.
a couple days rest.
No rest.
No rest. You just come right back.
Yep.
And that's the
multiple games a day.
That's the big difference. Of course, it's one of those often debated points about softball and whether that should be a thing. But no, I will echo the sentiment that both of you have. And I think this is one of those cases where you're talking about somebody who has had the experience both as being a high school athlete, a college athlete, a Major League Baseball prospect, a pitcher in the major leagues. He understands the calculations. All the credit in the world to Coach Ed Riley to be able to make that decision that, you know what, his pitcher was done. And if you look at the numbers, and there's distinctive differences you can see there, look at the numbers are telling. Coming into today, if you add these 5 innings that DeLongchamp threw to the 25 he threw throughout the year, he's thrown 30 innings all year long. Coming into today's game, Evan McCarthy has thrown 50 innings. Add the 6 2/3 in, he has now thrown 56 2/3 innings of work. He will not throw for the rest of the week. I don't believe he can get the 4 days rest needed, I don't think, to get to a Friday game, maybe the Saturday? Saturday game, maybe. Maybe he could be available there.
Depending on the weather, the MIAA said you got to be all done by July the 3rd.
Correct.
No ifs, ands, or buts about it.
There is no July 4th games.
We got to look, not to look beyond Wednesday, but we'll just have to see how these final 2 games of the state baseball state championship plays out schedule-wise.
Well, and this is where the importance of pitcher management comes in here. You have to expect that even though he threw through a significant appearance in the semifinal, Brandon Arsenault only threw 5 innings. Scattered 3 hits, didn't allow a run, a walk and 2 strikeouts. Didn't go deep to a lot of batters count-wise, Bill Thomas. You got to assume Arsenault is likely the Wednesday starter.
Yeah, and I kind of asked him about that. I don't know if you asked him, to divulge that far ahead what the plan was, but he gave me a little nod when I went out to get him. I'm like, hey, you want to come talk to us? You're probably going to pitch on Wednesday. And he looked at me and smiled. So they kind of know what time it is. They know the pecking order. And I'm sure he'll be revved up and ready to take the ball come Wednesday at 6 o'clock.
And he's certainly going to need some
Somebody's carrying
friends
a
with
trophy.
him as well. Yes, he is. And he's not going to give it up.
No, I think he's going to sleep with it
white,
tonight.
I was going to say white knuckle and all. It's not a very comfortable trophy. It's mahogany wood and,
think
got all
would
those
class
Massachusetts
it up
shapes
a little
on
bit,
it
but,
associated
I
as
like
well.
that old school look, though. It looks fantastic.
Tyler Smith, Evan McCarthy, Nick Garcia, Coach Vowles joins us as well. He's going to work his way around to our
stay there.
broadcast position. We're
traffic.
short a few mics. Yeah, Billy and Kate are going to direct some traffic here as we get everybody set up here, and we'll jump right into it with Tyler Smith. And Tyler, I've got to tell you, although Kate is adjusting the camera, she's going to run her way around here. Your mom has made it open season on you for not getting the bunt down in your first appearance.
No, I knew it in my head as soon as I did it, but I got it down. I wasn't doing it twice.
And a beautiful bunt it was.
Mom,
Because I knew I was going to get the bunt down.
That's right.
But I
Mom,
got it down.
You did, and it was a beautiful bunt, but Mom did say it's open season on that first pitch. But no, the bunt was absolutely wonderful. You did your job. I've got no complaints. Very well done.
Coach Ed Vowles joins us here as well as we continue on RFM postgame. Coach, this is the win you guys have been working for. Your pitching staff has worked tirelessly throughout the season in order to get you to this point. And Evan McCarthy tonight throws another gem of 6 2/3.
Yeah, he's been our leader all year. It's fantastic. I mean, our staff has been phenomenal. I believe our team ERA on the year is barely over 1, which is just ridiculous in itself. But he's something special. These 3 guys right here, I've been fortunate enough to be around them since they were 13. So to get to this point in their careers and be part of it with them really means a lot to me.
No question about that. And of course, this is a place we were talking a little bit with Brandon Arsenal earlier on about, this is potentially, if nothing changes with the way the MIAA is structuring things, this is the last Central Mass Championship the MIAA will govern. You not only win, you get to take the trophy and never give it to anybody else.
Right on.
You own it. You take it home forever.
And I'm fairly certain we'll be the only one to ever win 2 in one season.
I was going to say this
right.
is very true as well. Of course, getting caught in that weird crossover between the Central Mass Athletic Directors Tournament and the MIAA District that continued here in the win. Nick Garcia, I want to hear from you, cleanup hitter today. You got the big hit in the first inning that got things going for this team. How important was touching up DeLongchamp in the first inning to differentiate between your first meeting and the one that you had tonight?
It was pretty important just to get some runs across the board in the first. It gets Evan some breathing room so he could relax up there and everybody else can relax too.
Vastly important, and of course that timing came. It seemed like maybe the first time you guys battled DeLongchamp, maybe a little wide-eyed the first time you see a guy humming the ball like that. This time around, there weren't a lot of surprises.
No. The plan was just to get on the fastball, and that's what we did.
And the fastball it was. Tyler, I gave you a hard time about the bunt because that's what Mom said we could do, but let's talk a little bit about the night. You get started reaching on the error in the first inning. You become the first run scored in the ball game on Nick Garcia's single. That was ultimately very important in that first inning. But then you got yourself a great look at a ball that you deposited somewhere on the track out in left field. What did you see on that one?
He gave me 3 curveballs in a row. I was in the count 1-1, and Nico Martinez was signaling pitches. They were doing one sign, and when you give one sign against our team, it's just game over. I saw the breaker high, and I couldn't miss it. And then off the bat, again, I just knew it was gone.
How did that feel?
Oh my God, I can't describe it. I can't describe it. It was a rush of emotions. I was on the 2018 team when they came here, played SPM, they lost. So this one was for them. That was a special moment for me. We
also noticed that after your first at-bat, the elbow pad came off. You weren't very pleased with the call by the umpire after having been told that you leaned into that one. We saw that statement that you made. Tell us a little bit about whether or not that elbow did come out.
Well, he wasn't wrong. I definitely leaned into it. But I was like, you know what? You can't call it if it's my elbow. They always call it with the elbow guard. They never call it with the elbow. So I'm going to say if he's going to hit me again, it's going to be my elbow.
There you go.
I can appreciate that, Coach. He mentioned a little bit about the team, as Tyler Smith mentioning about the team effort, communicating pitches back to one another, seeing what they're seeing. If you use one signal, Leominster's going to make it hurt. Talk about kind of the overall philosophy there.
Absolutely. Like the beauty with Tyler, it's like having an extra coach. I mean, him and I, we can look at each other in the eyes, and half the time he knows what I'm calling before I even call it. And in between innings, Evan and I, or any pitcher for that matter, we discuss things. It's not just me making every decision. I'm talking to him about what he feels, what feels like is going to work for him, the next guy, what he wants to do with for his approach. And sometimes we'll disagree. And fortunately, I get to make the last decision. With that said, they also get to make the execution, and they do it phenomenally every time.
And that's, of course, the tough part. You know, they talk about there's this great debate going on in baseball and softball alike about the differentiation between coaches making the decision on pitches and catchers calling their own game, or catchers and pitchers working to call their own game. And like you said, ultimately, you can call whatever pitch you want. This isn't a video game, though. You can't keep pressing square, and it's just going to happen. Yeah. They've got to actually do it every time.
I'll tell you what,
though,
it does feel like a video game on occasion. when he's all over his spots, it's that much fun.
All right.
I mean, it really is.
Certainly appreciate that. To that point, Evan McCarthy, I want to hear from you. I've seen many things in 20, 25 years calling games here in Leominster. I've never seen a standing ovation for a player leaving the field. What was that kind of like? What was that moment feel like on your way to the dugout after 6 2/3?
It felt great for all the people to come out and support us tonight. We had a lot of energy going, and it was definitely a warm, I guess, welcome leaving the mound.
A reception that's got to be awfully difficult, though. I mean, you knew the performance you needed tonight that you ultimately delivered. Talk to me a little bit about the moment where middle of the game, you're starting to struggle maybe a little bit. You're feeling the kind of the length of the game, and DeLongchamp takes you to the deepest part of the ballpark. You came back the next time you saw him. We talked about showing no fear. You went right after him and induced a strikeout. Talk about that sequence.
Right, that at bat, he was all over the fastball, so I came back in the other bat, threw him a lot of off speed, got in on his hands where he wouldn't be as comfortable, and I executed the slider away to put him away.
Appreciate it, Evan McCarthy. Best of luck, Evan McCarthy and team. Coach, an early thought here. I mean, you're 48 hours out from seeing a team in Northampton maybe you haven't seen all year long. What do you do when you haven't seen a team?
You just rely on your guys to do what they've been doing all year. You know, you come in and you compete, and we'll make our decisions by how they stand in the box, what they look like when they're making an approach. And from there, we dictate what's going to be the next pitch from then into the next pitch on. We don't have a lot of information going forward, unfortunately.
And we'll all learn together.
Yeah, exactly.
Coach Ed Vowles, congratulations on the victory today, and to your team as well. Phenomenal to have you on here with us post-game. We'll continue on here on RFM. More to come. A final word with Billy and Kate. This is RFM. Post-game report rolls on here on RFM. Todd Robbins, Bill Thomas, Kate Robbins, and you. Hope you're enjoying this one in a one-day delay. Northampton and Leominster coming up in the Central West final coming up on Wednesday here at historic Doyle Field. We'll have it for you on that 24-hour delay on Thursday here on RFM, but hopefully you're enjoying this one off the one-day delay here on RFM. We say it all the time, Bill Thomas. Hashtag see it again on RFM. This one is hashtag worth it.
Oh, definitely. You know, you like to talk about instant classics, and this definitely falls into that category.
It certainly was an enjoyable one to be a part of, a 6-3 Leominster win, and the score is going to sound a lot more lopsided than the reality of the totals. This game was in doubt, maybe up to the moment where Tyler Smith deposited the 2-run homer out of the ballpark. I got to say, there were moments where maybe you could feel it slipping away and you thought, oh boy, is this the reverse of what we saw back on June the 2nd when these two teams played and Leominster came back and got the walk-off?
Well, you saw the momentum acting in a complete reversal from that first game, Todd. You know, St. Paul jumped out to that 5-0 lead. Leominster battled back, eventually win it in extras. Tonight it was just the other way around. Leominster jumps out to that quick lead. St. Paul battles back, and you know, it was close at the end, but Tyler Smith came back with a tough at-bat, and he was determined, and he kind of, as a catcher, he kind of had to feel what was going on between their pitcher and catcher, timed it up nicely, and, you know, we talk about how hard it is to get those last 3 outs of a game. The 7th inning seems like it takes forever sometimes. And, you know, we saw it tonight with a leadoff walk, and those 2 extra runs, 4-3 or 6-3. 6-3 is a lot more comfortable. You can attack the hitters. You can be a lot more aggressive and not have to worry about getting beaten by that one swing. And that's exactly how it ended up working out for Leominster. You know, brought in the reliever, and he came in 2 pitches and deuced that ground out in a ball game.
17 straight wins for Leominster through the Central Mass title from the MIAA District Sectional, call it what you will, this 6-3 win today. Final lines looked like this. Evan McCarthy, 6 2/3, allowed 5 hits, 3 runs, all of them were earned, 2 walks, 11 strikeouts, added on to the 88 he had coming into the game. That's 99 strikeouts on the season. For the next 30 years of his life, it'll probably burn him that he didn't cross to the 100 mark, but that's all right. If he never throws another inning in his life, 99 strikeouts at Leominster High School is a pretty darn good story to have in your senior season as well, Bill Thomas.
Yeah, and I'm looking at your book real quick here, and I'm seeing at least 8 of those were swinging strikeouts. That means he had a great curveball, live fastball. Those swing and misses will tell you a lot.
Angel Baez threw just 1/3 of an inning to close things out. No hits, no runs, no walks, no strikeouts. Induced the ground ball from Cody Smith to close the ball game. That's what he was brought in to do, and he successfully did it. On the other side of things, St. Paul's stat lines look like this. For Luke DeLongchamp, it was 5 innings pitched, 5 hits, 4 runs all earned, 3 walks, 3 strikeouts in his 5 innings of work. Justin DeFalco came in relief through just 1 complete inning, allowing a hit. It was a 2-run home run from Tyler Smith. 1 walk, no strikeouts. It's a tough line when you look back on just the 1 inning of work, but that's how things will conclude. 2 hours, 10 minutes, a neat 2 hours and 10 minutes, 5:57 to 8:07, our count here for the broadcast tonight. And Bill Thomas, it was every bit as enjoyable. Let's throw a quick preview up here. We know absolutely positively nothing about Northampton other than it is
that way.
As far west as you can get, seemingly. It's one of those schools.
We do know one thing. We don't have to travel.
We do not.
Thank you, Leominster, for being the #1 seed, because we've made that trip many times for football and basketball. And it always, and when we got put into the West,
yes,
had to have been the worst. But you know, it's all working out great this year.
Got to see plenty of fun and excitement in that one.
I know our way out there very well, but I'm glad that Northampton's traveling here. They get a taste of the excitement that we have here at Doyle Field, and the place will be hopping come Wednesday night.
And it took 9 innings in their game against Westfield, a 2-1 victory for Northampton to win Division I Western Mass's district title to advance on to this Central West semifinal. That'll be right here at Doyle Field. Again, the game is scheduled for Wednesday at 6 o'clock. Come on down to Doyle Field. Be a part of it just like everybody else did tonight here at Doyle Field. We look forward to hosting you here, and then see it again on RFM coming up on Thursday at 7 o'clock. That's how the week will play out, and then we'll see what goes on beyond that as well. But it should be a lot of fun and excitement. One last look out over historic Doyle Field tonight as the sun has finally disappeared into the ether. 6-3, Leominster a winner, Central Massachusetts champion on their 17th straight victory in 2021. Can't ask for much more than that, but this team has goals that are far, far greater than they've achieved thus far.
And when you talk about memories in history, Tyler Smith, referenced, I believe, losing to this team in 2018. Players know history, and they want to be part of history. And it's definitely, I think, weighing on Tyler Smith's mind, having a taste of that in 2018, and he doesn't want to give up that brass ring just yet.
Indeed, he does not. The battle continues later on in the week. Leominster a 6-3 winner over St. Paul tonight in a fantastic battle. Facebook.com/Media Rivalry for your live premieres here on RFM. YouTube.com, search Rivalry Family Media. Like, follow, subscribe. You be a part of it. You hit the like button. You subscribe to the pages. As soon as we post content, go live, whatever the case may be, your smart-enabled device sends you a little note. You're a part of the broadcast. You're able to enjoy this great, great high school action all across the sport spectrum. And right now, it's baseball to the conclusion of the 2021 season. For DJ Derek Drown back at Master Control, our great friends over at the K-Zone. Hopefully they'll be joining us on Wednesday as well. Stay tuned to social media for the potential for live audio coverage coming up as well. But we thank Derek for his work back at Master Control. For Bill Thomas and Kate Robbins, I am Todd Robbins, saying thank you so very much for joining us. And until Wednesday, so long, everybody.